Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz, and this is the 1 year anniversary. I am thrilled to be here. I am home. I am inside the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. There are different places from the cafe. I'm going to move my laptop so that we can see from different spaces. As you see, this is the stage behind us. But of course, first we do that, we got to get into some business. So, want to shout out Mr. Chris Lopez, who's in the building, not the virtual building, but in the actual building. He's in the DJ booth right now. I am going to be pulling him onto camera a little bit later because everyone has said, yo, I've heard this Chris Lopez, never seen him. I heard that his hair gives Jason Quinones a run for his money. It does. We're going to get to him. Also in the building, we got Loco. Those of you who are familiar with the cafe know Loco. He is in the building. Those of you who don't, we may be able to get him on webcam later. I don't know. He works undercover in 27 states and 49 different countries, so we don't want to blow his cover, but he is going to be the security and bodyguard for tonight. Oh, I'm going to give a shout out to some people behind the scenes. First, I want to shout out our executive director, Daniel Gallant. He is the big head honcho. If you've ever been to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, he wears the Indiana Jones hat. Unfortunately, he's a Baltimore Orioles fan. We're still working on it, but shout out to him. Shout out to our general manager, Jason Quinones, who is halfway across the world right now, living it up, drinking it up, partying it up. And let me just tell you, this year alone, Jason Quinones has earned every single penny that he has received from the Nuyorican Poets Cafe for just dealing with me. I'm calling him and bothering him all the time. Shout out to Jason, brother. I love you. I appreciate you. And even poor Chris Lopez, man. I called him yesterday. I had him up in text yesterday, like, yo, I know it's Easter. Happy Easter, but yo, I need this help. Help me. And he did. The team here is great. Shout out to our programming and marketing manager, Olivia Fortunato. She hasn't been here. She's been here with us for less than a year, but for many moons. I actually got to see her when I filmed for Summer Stage. She's a scuba diver. Shout out to her. Shout out to our creative content manager, Nick Luis. Nick, you better be watching. I'll put you into that intro video. I'm going to talk about the intro in a second. Also, our executive accountant. I don't know if he's the executive accountant, but he sounds like a good title, and I gave it to him. Tanilo, shout out to him as well. Shout out to Ralph, who is our manager. He does general managing here at the cafe as well. He stopped by earlier. One of our bartenders, Steven, to TJ, who does maintenance. And shout out to Mass, who's our in-house DJ. And of course, special shout outs I want to give to Anid and Kenny. They're not here because they do a lot of the work that like really helps the structure of the cafe and the managing it right now. Because we're online, we don't need them much. Well, we don't really need them at all, unfortunately. So, but they are part of our culture. I want to shout them out. Shout out to Pepe and Salam. They usually doing the bartending here because no one's here at the cafe. We don't have them. So shout out to them. And shout out, of course, to Raul K. Rios, who also works here out of the cafe, but because it's closed, we haven't seen him. And Julio, who used to work at the door. He's been gone for like, I think 7 years now, right? He's been gone. Julio's gone for 7, 8 years, but still a shout out to Julio. I love this dude. All right. With that being said, let's get into some business here and break everything down. I've got everything set up. Here we go. This is our 1 year anniversary. This is actually episode number 53. Where have you been? All the cool kids get to say they were part of year one. You made it just in time. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can look up Nuyorican Poets Cafe to see it and watch us streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to see, watch this because this is recorded and uploaded to Facebook and YouTube, look up Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And we're doing this on Zoom. The number is on your screen, 279-995-364, in case you would like to join us. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events this year. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute, or you can send it to us on Cash App New Eurekan Poets Cafe. What's next? That is our theme next week. What's next? Every week we do a theme. Today, we just want the best of the best. It's our anniversary show. We don't know what we're going to get. We just want the best of the best. But we're going to be doing this again next Monday. And a lot on my mind has been thinking, what's next? How do we keep this fresh? I want to know what's next in your life. Is it maybe what the next step to finishing up a goal, starting a new goal, whatever it is? That's the theme. You can find all of the themes and the future themes on my social medias, Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, because, you know, poetic license. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I put up all of the themes so you can get a jump start and know what's coming like 7 weeks in advance. The open mic list tonight consists of 15 people who got reserved seating. That's our most active members, and 15 people for the open mic. Because if we're doing an open mic, we can't have everything be reserved, right? But we wanted some reserved seats to make sure we got, you know, some people who have been with us the entire year or have spent the most time with us over this year. So the 15 open mic spots were gone in like 12 seconds. From when ticket number 1 was gotten to ticket number 15, it was like 12 seconds. It is crazy. So here is the open mic list, and we're breaking it down into 5 sections: Block A, B, C, D, and E. In Block A, we have Sam Park, DJ Clear and Nick Paleologos, Diane Ward, Andy Markert, and Roz. These people can close out the show, and I know we're starting off with it. Block A is being sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts. Appreciate y'all for the year and the money that you have given. Let's get some more money for year 2. Okay. In Block B, which is sponsored by the New York State of the Council on Arts, we have Assam Zane, Catherine Badan, Joshua Kernia, Alexander Goldberg, Mr. Tessasomok, and La Bruja, who is in Puerto Rico, and the host of the Thursday night online open mic. Without her, there would be no Monday night online open mic. Block C is being sponsored by the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and that features Elizabeth Strauss, Mr. Speaker, Ed Poetastic, and Emily Cordes, who used to work here, and she is still coming around to our events. Yay, thank you, Emily. Love having Emily around. Block D is sponsored by the Amazon Literary Partnership. Bushra Els-Nausi. I don't know if it's Els-Nausi or Els-Nusi. Bushra, when I call you up, make sure you correct me so I can get your last name right. Okay, Bushra has never been on the open mic with us. So this is going to be their first time on the anniversary show. And that's awesome. We have a new voice for our anniversary show. Looking forward to hearing from Bushra. Sarah Erin, Generalissimo, Jane Spoken Word, Tara Lee, and Mark Thompson. And in Block E, our last section, which is sponsored by the New York Community Trust. We have Kai Brackens. It was supposed to be Paul Conqueso, but he gave his spot for Kai Brackens. We have Vale Larkin, Trisha De Jesus, The Withdrawn, Ray Jane, and Paul Skiff. Paul Skiff is the OG. Love having this dude. Okay, some rules. 1, poets who are performing, turn your camera on, like La Bruja says. If we were out in open mic, we'd be seeing your face. Turn the camera on. Rule number 2, have your poem ready. We have a lot of poets and a lot to get through tonight, so please make sure that right now, that if you have your poem in a book or you're going to open up on WordPad or something on your computer, have it open. Poets have 4 minutes. Got to be super strict with this tonight because I want to get everyone on in a timely manner. So you have 4 minutes to rock out. No censorship. I'm letting everyone know beforehand. Our founders were not into censorship. We're not going to be into censorship. So that means there may come some poems that trigger you. You have been warned ahead of time. This is how open mics happen. We want our people to be able to speak about whatever it is they want to talk about. And sometimes it's the rough stuff. So I just want to let everyone know ahead of time, no censorship. After each poet performs, the host is going to ask for you to unmute yourself, be obnoxiously loud. Get ready to unmute yourself before we begin because I got something planned. So, and stick to the theme, but you don't have to. You never have to stick to the theme. It's more of a guiding light. But from now on, we are going to be doing highlights from our open mics. And we're only going to be choosing the people who are writing on theme, just to let you know that. But you do not have to write on theme to participate in our online open mic. So, yes, welcome to your new addiction. I had to sneak that in. I am so ready to have a good time tonight. So, The New Rican Poets Cafe closed on March 16th, 17th. That's when New York State basically had shut down. A week later, La Bruja had started the Thursday night online open mic. 3 weeks into that, I had covered her for one day in the cafe, say, hey, would you like to host the open mic on Monday? And I said, yeah, sure. And I did it. The next week, they were like, hey, do you want to do it again? I was like, how's yeah? And I did it, right? And that went on for like 6 weeks. By the 7th week, I was thinking, oh, that's it. This is going to be an every week thing. We're doing it. And I started thinking about the 1 year anniversary from that point. So I am excited to be here. Did I mention everything? Oh, yes. Okay. I have not gone anywhere. Just getting something ready because we are about to begin. First, let's set the mood. Chris, if you will, please. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the good stuff. That feels good right there. Oh, that feels good. Next, I need everyone to unmute yourselves when I ask you to. And can we make sure we're in gallery view? Just to make sure, because I want to make sure that everyone can see everyone screaming, okay? Because we have streamed shows here from the New Rican Poets Cafe in the past 2 weeks, but it's just been artists. What my baby hasn't heard in a long time is an audience screaming. So I'm going to unmute you, and I've got the microphone right here, and I'm going to put it right next to my laptop, and we are going to be obnoxiously loud so that the neighbors don't forget that the New Rican Poets Cafe is still here. So I'm asking to unmute everyone right now, and I want you all to make as much noise as possible. Hear me? Can we hear me? Oh, because you got that off. Can we hear me? Give me a thumbs up if we can hear me. Awesome. Oh, it's so good to talk to the mic. It's been a while. So there we go. We are set now. Okay. First, coming up first. It was very difficult to decide who to go first, especially having this person go, because this person can close out a show. This person can hit it out the park. In baseball terms, you do not have one of your best players go first. You have them bat like third or fourth in the lineup. And I was like, no, it's the anniversary show. We're going to do it. We're going to hit one out the park with this next poet representing Queens, New York City. It is Sam Park. Wait, it's not Queens?
Brooklyn.
But no, I'm joking. I was about to do my best chance in person. Representing Brooklyn, New York, is Sam Park. Sam, also I want to let everyone know, because I know people are going to want to say something nice about the anniversary show. In the beginning, let the people know where they can find you. You can say something about the Monday night online open mic if you want. Don't have to be about me, but just the community. And then we're going to hear that fire. Sam Park, it is not easy going first, and it's not easy going last, but I know that you are up for the challenge. Are you ready?
I am ready. Thank you for even allowing me to be here, for hosting this beautiful year of celebrating poetry and all of these amazing poets, bringing this community together. We all appreciate you. Yeah, so if you guys want to find me on social media, I am on Instagram at Zaddy_beats. That's ZADDY_beats. I'm also on Spotify, but you know what? I'm going to send you all the link right now so you can find me and follow me yourself. The first poem that I'm going to be reading 2 poems tonight. Just going to go in continuation. The first poem tonight that I'm going to read is Catching Water. Capturing you is like catching water. There are parts of you that fit into the contours and crevices of my hands perfectly, as if I was always meant to hold you. I collect your pools of thought, curling my fingers around them to keep them safe, sacred, protected, and every once in a while, I am met with a mirror of my own countenance. I drink you, You hydrate me. I feel you trickling down my throat, cooling my heated opinions and softening my tongue. I wade into you. You cleanse me. When you rain on me your precipitating ideals, I cradle my palms and collect as much of you as I can so that I may be a vessel for the droplets that I catch. Like sweet spring rain, you leave kisses on my fingertips, puddles on my fingerprints, and you melt into my pores, appearing as if we were always the same shape. But you are fluid, and that is hard to grasp. It's not that my hands aren't strong enough to hold you. It's the peaks and valleys in them that were created to irrigate the parts of you that I wasn't meant to hold. These spare drops that trace down to my elbows leave cold breezes of evaporated expectation. When I take a sip of the remaining reflection, my thirst becomes greater than what I am capable of holding, and then I realize that what could nourish me could also drown me. I'm pissed. Almost 3,800 reported attacks on us from March of 2020 for a year would make a 150% surplus. But from the 8 murdered recently, 6 were Asian, 4 Korean. 2 of them left family that share my last name. I've never been good with numbers, but isn't even 1 already insane when ending a life in vain? Claiming power over purity, so she kneels for the American dream she needs to obtain. But instead, she was dropped by someone who killed for the shock value of stopping the time on someone's clock for no other reason than acting with the trigger-happy glock of his hatred and his cock. I can't help but feel the same knock from when I was followed down several blocks as if pandemic fear wasn't enough to keep stock of, minding my business while being stalked, being verbally undressed, blamed, and mocked. So I took refuge in a laundromat, let the glass windows separate myself from an ignorant street rat, or the times when I breathed on the train and suddenly was faced with verbal combat. Living in fear became a routine, and I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that it was called a bad day, although it was a terrorist attack. But what needs to be shared in this time is the word, until it reaches every ear, so no ear can feign ignorance of what is heard, of the honor and the dreams that were unjustly deferred. I'm hungry for justice, wondering when justice will be served. I am angry, I am hurt, I am out of patience to conserve. And when I'm angry, I am quick to spend all the forgiveness I've preserved. I'm ready to pry the system open and take its heart out in order to purge the rotten white violence that started when I was a child in the suburbs. Regardless of my pain, I believe there is good in the love I receive. I am not without support and warm hands to melt my grief. I'm not one to let anger follow example of the hatred that others leave. So instead, I'm going to meditate, and then I'm going to roll up my sleeves to shatter bigoted glass and dismantle the United States of thieves. Thank you.
Unmute yourself.
Let's go.
Second one was
Spend the night. Fire.
Amazing, son.
Down Park, one of our mainstays here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic, Zaddy_Beats. After we're done with Block A, I'm going to put up all of that information again so you could write down and be able to follow all of these wonderful poets, because we really are trying to build community here, including with this next poet. I like to call him my wingman, and he got a fresh cut. Look at that fresh cut. Look at him looking good, man. When the bars open up, me and this man gonna go paint the town red, and that is DJ Clearin'.
Again, it is so good to be here on the first anniversary. Thank you so much for allowing me to read. I'm going to go right into it. In all our troubled times, movements emerges in waves. They tell the truths and lies about what has happened, expose the good from the bad. The movement, the wave is the pandemic poets. The pandemic poets. What are we? The pandemic poets. Writers of thoughts, tellers of truths. What are we? The pandemic poets. Searchers of souls, the secrets not told. What are we? The pandemic poets. Friends amongst friends, we laugh and cry. What are we? The pandemic poets. Recorders of histories so not to be lost. What are we? The pandemic poets. Sharers of love straight from our heart. What are we? The pandemic poets. Interpreters of pain, the jagged edges we share. What are we? The pandemic poets. Warriors of words, slayers of wrongs. What are we? The pandemic poets. Thirsters of lust and cravers of desire. What are we? The pandemic poets. Vagabonds of society, wanderers of intellects. What are we? The pandemic poets. Painters with pens, curators of wisdom. What are we? The pandemic poets. Pawns on the chessboards, axioms of morals. What are we? The pandemic poets. Bleeders of evidence, seekers of time. What are we? The pandemic poets. Soothsayers of the universe, prophets of knowledge. What are we? The pandemic poets. Diviners for meanings, philosophers of awareness. What are we? The pandemic poets. Wranglers of sentences, rhythms of rhymes. What are we? The pandemic poets. The conscious of all things. We are poets. Thank you.
Yes.
Unmute yourself.
DJ.
Clear.
Yes, yes, DJ.
That's a celebration.
DG clearing the pandemic poets. If you've ever heard us call ourselves the pandemic poets, it's because of that man's poem right there. DG clearing. You can find him on Facebook. And he is so giving also of his time, because every time I ask him, where can we find you online? He's shouting out other organizations and people needing help. Love having DJ clearing. I keep saying DJ. DG clearing as part of our community. It's been a wonderful year because of him and people like him. Thank you, DJ. DG. Keep calling you DJ, man. I need a DJ. That's what it is. You are meant to be a DJ. You're not meant to be my wingman. You're meant to be my DJ when I host shows from now on. All right, moving along. We're now going to the rock star, the man who once convinced all of us to join his cult. Where is he? Where are you, cult leader? Why can't I find you? I saw you earlier. Oh, I see him now. And that is Nick Paleologos. Nick, unmute yourself. The floor is yours, brother.
Thank you so much, Advocate, for having me here. You know, there is no amount of money that I could ever give that for all the opportunities that I've gotten from the New Yo. I want to thank everyone here who has performed before the pandemic, during the pandemic, or is going to rip after. Thank you for helping out with this community. I got two pieces for y'all. I was confused about which ones to do, so I picked these two right here. The first one's called When Comets Cry. When I peer into your eyes, why does your galaxies cry? Instead of seeing stars and meteors fly by, they leak out your eyes. I'll wipe them away and we will clutch together as you unleash your sadness turning to supernova. I'm sure your trials have been deeper than black holes could understand. Your shoulders colder than Neptune, your pain gigantic as Jupiter, your rage vast as Mars. Feeling excluded like Pluto? Well, you are a planet amongst the system. Show yourself some love like Venus. Invest within as Mercury. It's okay if you spin differently like Uranus. You clutch so tightly to yourself and you hold a lot of pain from all these years. Release yourself. Take time to heal. Ground yourself to the earth. Open your eyes and repeat after me. It's going to be okay. That was the first one. You know, if I'm the cult leader, you got to have a church. So the second piece is called I'm Taking You to Church. Welcome to the Church of Poeminality. We accept everyone, unless you're an oppressor or you have any of these diseases, but not limited to xenophobia, racism, sexism, homophobia, misogyny, and any other hatred of our human race. We have services available to rehab those behaviors. If you or any members are inflicting any harm, you will be booted faster than Des Bryant throwing up the X after a touchdown. The matrimony is prose and poetry. We anoint the sick with the oils of our ink. We are baptized and confirmed in words. Our ordained ministers are the hosts. We don't do communion here. Community is enough. Our columns have poetry all over them. Our scriptures are poetry slams. Our hymns are free verses. Our windows are stained glass of poets of the past and present. Our scaffolding states you are worth it. No confessions here. Our work is all we need. The debts to be paid is to yourself. You do owe yourself love and to properly tell your story. If you cannot pay, we will work with you. Anyone can attend the Church of Poeminality. Just be brave, be vulnerable, don't be hateful, and more importantly, be yourself. We look forward to having you here. And if you are new here, then we all say, I'm taking you to church. The church isn't a building, though. It's every open mic you've ever been to. And pieces.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Nick Paleologos. Wait, did I hit the button to unmute? Wait, it should look now.
Nick, that's it, buddy.
Thank you.
Interesting. Love you, bro.
My man.
So
Loving the
good.
hat,
So
Nick.
good. Thanks, Nick.
Nick Paleologos, the rock star, our cult leader. Find him on Instagram at the real Nick P. Shout out to some people who are in the building. I want to make sure I recognize them because they have blessed our open mic, even if we're not going to hear from them tonight. Like Boetaku, who's out in Japan. Love this dude. Had him in the intro video. I'll talk about that in a second. Michael Sindler. Michael Sindler tried to sign up like right away. He wasn't able to get on. He is a mainstay here. Mondays would not be the same without him. Itty Younger is here. She loves us. She be coming in. She's like, don't worry. I'm going to keep my poems to myself. I'm here to support y'all and give y'all energy. I love that woman. I love that energy. Shout out to her. The urban cowboy poet. We're not going to hear a legend from him tonight, but he constantly adds to the community. Got to shout him out. Scott Pleasance. If you ever hear us say, great Scott, we have a pleasant gesture, is because of this man. He gave up his spot many months ago so that someone who hadn't been on the open mic can come and rock out. And everyone else was like, well, that's great. I want to do what Scott Pleasance is doing. And we've been having that ever since. That's why we got Kai Brackens tonight instead of Paul Conqueso. Shout out to Net Vega. I hope she saw the intro video. I hope she was here early. I know that she's here. I hope she saw the intro video. To Gina Nepa, I hope I'm saying your last name. I don't know if it's Nepa or Nepa, but I saw Gina here and she got her camera on giving love to people. I had to shout her out. Marissa Prada. Marissa Prada has become a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. We're not going to be hearing her voice tonight. We're going to miss it, but sending love to her. We also have Thomas Connor is here as well. Shout out to him. We're not going to hear him tonight, and I'm not skipping him, okay? Sometimes I skip him. But I'm not going to be able to hear from him tonight because the list is full. But he gives a lot of love to us, and it blesses us with his poetry as well. Got a lot more people that I want to mention, but we're going to keep going with the poems. And next, if this woman wasn't married, I would not be hosting this open mic. I'd be working 24/7 so I can make sure to buy the right kind of ring to put on her finger. And how many more nice things can I say about her while I look for her here on Zoom? There she is. Let me unmute her. But she is married and taken, and I am not going to get beat up by her husband. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Diane Ward. Diane, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm only going to read one piece tonight because I want us to get to all those wonderful, wonderful, powerful poets that we have. So I'm only going to read one piece. It's called Leaving Volcanoes and Landing in Lava. Leaving volcanoes, my blood, Carib Indian, African, and Hun, beauty blessed, given me not by my own volition, but by them my gene pool meteors, my blood and soul reincarnated by face, body type, maybe occupations, intelligence by reborn. I am, we are, them rebirthed. We carry their souls. They are the wind above, beneath, and giveth breath. The breath we took out here as within us in the womb. Our womb breath, our ancestors bequeath to each of us. Their breath, their beating forms my heart, the multiple hearts of the ancestors. I try to make them proud of this, their daughter, their child, theirs, ours, and mine, spirits, combined to make the world family. But first, the nucleus of our own nuggeted subatomic sense to build upon the greater, greater goodness. We are part of our ancestors' goodness, who always knew we'd embrace the greater cosmos, look to entwine with good and cast off the infected. Always gaining the cleansing, the perfection of the positive, the truth, the substantive structure in each of our molecules. Oh, our molecules are ancestral and maintain their memories of Edens and lushness and beauty and waterfall, birds, lizards, groves, surfs, grace, joy, and love. Most of all, love and community. We exist because we loved each other, came together, procreated, and created us. All that energy was not wasted on us. You see, we are here, my lovelies, against familiar tyrannies, leaving volcanoes, landing in lava. My ancestral religious mixture is a homogeneous, bountiful mosaic, and served me through the boat rides, wavy shores, the slow moving melting of land for years, toiled for food, for home, landing in lava, man-made, deceitful and flowing, hot and molten, some still flowing, some has cooled and said for prosperity, mislabeling it as their honest, honorable contribution. Lava, some cooled and chipped, saved for heritage museums and remembered where we've come from and how we stopped. I stopped. Together we, me, this daughter, dammed the flow. Thank you.
Oh,
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Diane Ward.
Diane
Oh,
Ward.
Diane.
That's so incredible.
Man.
Oh my God.
So nice.
Man.
Diane Ward, now you understand why I have to go and buy a ring. Her husband has probably saved my life because I'd give up everything. Diane Ward, and she's not on social media. So if you want to see her again, you're going to have to come to the Monday night online open mic. Love having Diane on. Diane, thank you so much for coming through this year and for the anniversary. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. We have a great community. Adding to that is our next poet, Andy Markert. Where is Andy? I saw Andy before. And you know what's, oh, I got him. And what's funny is that when I first saw Andy's name, I read it as Meerkat. And if you look at his Instagram, it's got Meerkat on it. Andy, good to see you, brother. The floor is yours.
Hey, buddy. First off, thank you, everybody. It's so nice to be back with my family again. I love all of you deeply, and I wouldn't write again if you guys weren't here and around. Let me just put you on gallery view so I can see all of your beautiful faces. 10 seconds of really quick housekeeping. Love letters to Gaia, which a bunch of us in here worked on as editors. Me, The Withdrawn, Nick, Ray, Jane, Christina Sassy, led by the incomparable Miro, is coming out soon. It releases on 4/20. We are having a launch party on 4/22. Links will be coming your way shortly. Watch the Instagram. We would love to see you all there. There will be a sign up for that open mic. At some point, there will be a link. I don't know what it is. Okay. So I've got two pieces tonight. I am recently single, so I've embarked on a new book project in which I go on the dating apps and I offer you a poem if you match with me. And I write a poem for whatever prompt any crazy person hands me. The only answer I don't take is I don't know. So here we go. The first one, I got a prompt called Cat. When I asked for more clarification, they told me, what kind of poet are you? Just write me a poem about a cat. So here we go. This one's called Apocalyptic Premonitions at the Corner Bodega Over Breakfast Sandwiches. At my new corner bodega that knows just how I take my coffee and how I like a breakfast sandwich lives what I can only describe as the end of the world. As much as the end of the world can be a cat. A small-sized bundle of white and black fur, a Ragnarok of hatred in a tiny package, geared for total destruction. She hides near the counter, hisses, and chases you from the store, as if trying to save you from a death by heart disease, or to maim you for daring to enter its presence unannounced, her quest for blood and destruction her favorite game. Your blood, the only offering which will appease her. The owner shrugs. She only does this, he says, to the people she loves. Sometimes I break apart my sandwich, feed her pieces of my egg, let her chase me from the store and sit with me on the sidewalk. Every living thing needs love and kindness and nourishment. We eat together there. Sometimes the horrible just need a little acceptance. Sometimes the most broken deserve a kind of grace. The world will end someday, but not today. I pet the tiny vengeful god. She purrs. And this one I wrote today for someone. It's called Find Her in the Meadow and Watch Her Fly. Her fingers weave through meadow grass, plush like a blanket, beneath a sun as gentle as her smile. Some people are measured in their softest smiles. Some places measured in how they seem to make a body melt into a kind of softness. The sky is clear now. The cotton clouds melted down to reveal nothing but blue sky eyes. Warmth falling over a body, velvety smooth, in a warmth more reminiscent of touch than of heat, more reminiscent of a blanket than a burn. She is stronger than she seems, smarter than she gives herself credit for. Tears fall from sometimes sad eyes. She hides them well, chokes back a kind of concern behind a soft voice that resonates more than she gives it credit for. The girl afraid of heights that stands on a precipice and hates every second of it. We are not afraid of high places out of a fear that we might fall, but rather that we might jump, that deep hidden impulse somewhere in our body that wants to soar. She can already fly. Fear of heights or not, she skips across the surface of the minds of everyone she meets, finding those handholds to grab and what to let go of. She will spin and fly and twirl among her meadow, find the field of wildflowers, pluck them for her hair, return them to her garden, something she cultivated, grew, and created herself, a jungle of her own creativity. Her fear of heights forgotten, as she soars on your horizon. My God, to see her smile is to know the rarest kind of beauty. Thank you, guys. I love you very much.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Andy Marker.
Andy, that was fire, man.
Like that one. I super liked it.
Yes.
Good job, man.
Thank you so much.
Andy Marker. All right, Andy. You're gonna have to write me a poem now. All right, I'm a dog man. So let's get to it. All right, I'm not gonna sign up for Tinder. I'm letting you know now. All right, we're gonna treat this like a dating app. Yo, try to impress me, Andy. Dog out. Andy Markert. You can find him on Instagram at Andy Meerkat. I'm gonna put up everyone who's in Block A, all their information, so that you can write it down and get into it. But now, usually when I'm hosting, I'm in the Bronx. But I'm in the Lower East Side right now because I am hosting at the New Yorican Poets Cafe. Shout out to Overdose and Baby Overdose. I see you. And he's also in the Bronx. But we are going to someone else in the Bronx. We are going to someone who was actually at the first online open mic that I hosted when I had filled in for La Bruja, and that is Roz. Where is Roz? I saw Roz earlier. Where are you, Roz? Wait, there she is. I got her now. Let me unmute Roz. Roz right now is representing the Bronx for me because I'm not out there. I'm so happy that you were able to sign up, Roz. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
I am so grateful to be here, guys. Like, I can't believe. Happy first birthday to the Monday open mics. So now, Tim, I'm nervous as though I haven't been doing this for this long. This one is called Waiting Room Etiquette. Whenever life decides to throw a curveball at me, calls it playful trickery, and I think to myself that I have no more fight left in me, I dismiss my telenovela protagonist tendencies. I close my eyes and start to rewire. Rewiring, counting my blessings. I remember to start small, sometimes out of awareness, other times to have a longer list. I begin to describe my four-leaf clovers with unclenched fists. I open my eyes today. I'm breathing. I can formulate a thought. I look at my journal and pen, and my heart still skips a beat. I can look out of my window and appreciate scenery while sipping my coffee out of my New Yorican mug. Boyfriend's good morning text filled with love. Mommy's okay. My dog's tail still wags relentlessly at the sight of me. I have keys to my home, and those aren't the only set that I own. I am endless possibilities. And I have the keys to my own destiny. Gratitude, not just a feeling, but an attitude for all things, the good, the bad, the ugly. If only I can mimic the sea, deep, both wild and calm, but always full of mystery. Comfortable in spite of uncertainty, I am grateful for my wisdom, for my poetry, for the sweetest words from the most beautiful strangers across the world. I am grateful for showers hot enough to force the devil not to mess with me, for the feeling of letting my hair down after my scrunchie was on too tight, for swinging my bra across the room after a long shift that night. I am grateful. I'm grateful for my friends and for my almost perfect credit score, for chocolate orgasms and wine. I am grateful for the sun and how bright it shines, for my ability to turn anger into strategy and a no into a yes. For the gift to recognize tragedy as a test, I am grateful. For the tranquility I feel when I'm in my own company. I am grateful for itineraries that remind me of the places I'm going to see and the good memories that intrude unexpectedly and make me laugh out loud randomly, for life's GPS, constantly rerouting, reminding that sometimes new beginnings are masked as painful endings, for my spiritual guides pretending not to know that I'm ascending, in preparation for a meet and greet with my biggest fan, the realest one on my team, my higher self. Till we meet, I'll wait with great anticipation, while strength strengthening powers of manifestation from January to December. I deserve and I promise to remember to stay grateful. End poem.
Unmute yourselves and give it up.
Let's go, Roz. Let's go, Roz.
He's so grateful.
Hell yeah.
That's Roz.
Yes.
Roz representing the Bronx. Who says people from the Bronx don't got a heart, man, that we can't be sweet? We hard on the outside, but we soft on the inside. That's how we are, man. That's how the Bronx is. Thank you, Roz. I'm so happy that we were able to get Roz on. Again, because we opened it up, we could only get a certain amount of people. So there's some people we couldn't get on that I really would have liked to. So I'm really happy that we did get some people on that I really like Roz. So real quick, let us go back to this. Once again, I would like to thank Sam Park, DG Clearing, Nick Paleologos, Diane Ward, Andy Markert, and Roz. All of their information is there if you want to follow these people. As you heard mentioned before, that the community has come together. They're publishing a book, so connect with everyone. And this section was sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts. Established by Congress in 1965, the National Endowment for the Arts supports exemplary arts projects and communities nationwide through grant-making initiatives, partnerships, and events. They helped us get through this year, so I want to give them a special shout out. Thank you to the NEA. Our next block is being presented by the New York State Council on the Arts. We have Catherine Bedan, Joshua Kernia, Alexander Goldberg, Mr. Tessa Somok, and La Bruja, the goddess of the flagship online open mic. But first, we are going to get to Azam Sine. Assam. Look at him, he's all dressed up, man. Why ain't nobody else dressed up, man? Assam came. Where's everyone else at? Yo, Assam, it's good to see you, brother. The floor is yours.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. And happy birthday, everybody. Love you all. I got two short ones tonight. This first one is called In. In the next lifetime, God sends down pills for his people, wafers of biochemistry to keep us equal, whippets for the kids, and for us, for the obsessed, God rages with the orderlies, kingdom, phylum, class, order, and so on, infinity. The ordered legions of wings, the severe angels push their hard bodies into ours. We begin to love them for their brutality, for them knowing 9 ways to enter the human body. This is for the girl, they say, who bears African violets into the new world. This is for your world of poetry. And the second piece, I'm pretty sure was the first poem I read on the open mic. If not, it was definitely in that first week or two. This is part of a larger series of sonnets inspired by Wanda Coleman's poetry. The poem is called What If a Love Like This? Lift me through my skin, small, unsophisticated country. 2 hours of the same old cold-blooded bloodlessness, too little for too much effort. I pursue my dramas, those stars. There is other life out there. I sense it, a smell, a hello from months later, a black bird with 1 red feather, the Chattahoochee, the Cheyenne, the Chippewa, the Cimarron, washing 6 months worth of dirt and the devil off, and the subject of your love. We reign in each other. Darkness parts and a nation's heart is released. I am full. I'm on uptime, have no resting place, cannot rest. Water, listening to how I listen, knowing there's a limit. I thirst for the cold, white quench. Without you, this city is a pale, rude fiction. Thanks, everybody.
Unmute yourself and give it up.
Dope, Tom.
He does grand pills, don't he?
Really profound.
Oh, that was so good.
I love
Sam He's a writer's writer, man. I know some people think that's a backhanded compliment. I'm a writer, so to me, it's not. He's a writer's writer, and you could really appreciate his work when you rewatch it a second or third time. You pick up on all the little nuances. All of this is being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can rewatch it on Facebook and YouTube. Rewatch Assam's poetry. I bet you. Think right now about all the things you picked up, and when you rewatch it, you're going to pick up even more. So I want to give some more shout outs to people in the building. Well, the virtual building. Heidi Lamb. I don't think I've ever seen Heidi Lamb, but Heidi's checking us out. Hi, Heidi. Thank you for coming in and checking us out if you haven't before. Catherine Sweeney is here. I think she's in her backyard. I'm not sure if she has her wine, but you know, if anyone has their wine or their funny cigarettes, which are now legal in New York, enjoy yourselves. It's a celebration. Abraham Kamani, who's become a mainstay here, usually one of the first people to sign up. He's not rocking tonight, but he is here in the virtual building. Glad to see him. Shout him out. Luciana, who is translating your poems, I believe, into Portuguese. She's out in Brazil. She is spreading the word of the New Yo and all the things that all of us are doing and you're doing. Shout out to Lynn Lane, who's become a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Really weird to not have a Monday night and not hear him of late. Whitney Salgado is checking us out. Hi to Whitney. I've seen Whitney check out Thursday night. I don't know if Whitney's checked out Monday. It's good to see you on a Monday, Whitney. I said overdose. Tina Blue is here. Tina Blue gives a lot of love on social media, but I don't know if Tina's ever actually seen or come to a Zoom chat. So hi, Tina, where you been? Glad you're here. Stacy H is here. Stacy H, your camera's on, but it's just like black. So I don't know if you're hiding anything, witness protection program or something, but yo, you're here. Shout out to you. And someone named Chuck Joy. I've never seen Chuck Joy before, so shout out to him. I got a lot more people to shout out, like Elemental as well. He is in the building. But first, we are now going to get to the apple of my eye. I know I'm a flirt, and she's going to kill me because she sees me flirting with everyone. And that is Catherine Bedan. Hi, Catherine. My beard is glorious. Don't be mad I'm flirting with everyone. Okay, the floor is yours.
It's great. You look like Hemingway, but you're not an alcoholic. Okay. Okay, I hope not. Hey, thank you so much. It's so amazing. I can't believe it's been a year, and it's been so great to meet everyone virtually. And I just love the opportunity. It's the highlight of my week. If you go to my website, you can find my, what do I got there? My music, SoundCloud, my YouTube, and my Facebook. I don't do IA yet. So, okay, I'm gonna do two short pieces. They're a minute each about. The first one is older, and the next one is a little bit more modern. And the first one is called LA Rooms. I live in a house on stilts. The floorboards lean back down towards earth. The ceiling battles at odd angles to itself. Each window a curved after space of decision, an announcement of diverse precision. My tabletop glistens by the electric light, a glow emitting from Chinese pink flowered device. And my icons enumerate themselves to themselves, meeting in unlikely corners. They nod hello to all the barren spaces, hoping to spark their inner flames. Books, papers, fabrics, records, transfiguring of the wooden vestibules into an earth plane existence, they pretending to be inanimate and I pretending to be human. Camera photos lying around, eating up dust and making a new and different pigment. My library of Akashic records multiplies each day according to the frequency of the US mail. Devotional trinkets are stored on the table sides, waiting for the perfect actor to use them in some unknown ancient ritual. Come into my rooms and see my paintings, vast historians of my dreams. They'll tell you of all the hidden meanings. A nightmare's excursion can best be described by the crystal clear light of day, and my rafters hold innumerable visions. And you know, you're talking and you're screaming at the wheels that hit it back on you. Well, I'm not absorbing any more food. animals. And you know how you love to steal everybody's responsibility to feel. Let the animals out, it's time for their feeding. Sit up then, play dead then, maybe I'll stuff it in when I'm good and ready and you're fear and bleeding. I am God and you are not. Hey, what a scene. Well, this actor's all played out and freaked out with your mighty director's dream. Gather round your begging children in their wire and clump them all in lumps, lest they untangle the webbing and start that fire. Start that fire. My flames new lit with cool blue eye, projecting upwards as wide, all higher. So lay your trips down, your massa kicks down. I'll not be around for you to trade negative energy licks for my aid. You know you're talking and you're screaming at the wheels that hit it back on you. That's it, folks. That's all.
Catherine.
Crazy, Catherine. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
So appreciated.
Catherine, you're the best.
Hey, no, whistling, stay apple of my eye, all right? Play your positions, all right? Catherine Badan. Make sure you go check out her website, Catherine Badan, BADIN.com. She got photography up there as well. I'm going to be showing that information once again when we get done with this block. Next coming up is Joshua Kernia from San Francisco. Joshua has become a mainstay here at Monday Night Online Open Mic. Let me unmute him. So happy to have him on. He's been with us for now like 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
Awesome. Go ahead, Joshua. The floor is yours.
Thanks. I'm so honored to be here again. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for showing us the Cafe Advocate. I've never been there and I will be there in person one day. For now, so I wrote a new poem. It's about hope. 2020. Let's take a deep breath and think about that for 3 seconds. Think about the struggles we endured, yet they mold us to be more matured. Think about how we were trapped by loneliness, yet self-content we found in solitude. Think about the number of lives lost, yet many more we cherished, treasured, and crossed. Think about the relationships we fought to fix with logic, yet we somehow managed to weave with love and compassion. Think about the weight we gained, yet the guilty joy we got from eating what we wanted, and the comfort from snuggling in pajamas day and night. Think about how deprived we yearned for touch, yet how one I love you phone call lifted us up on those darkest days. Think about the sacrifices we made and the small part we played for the greater good of humanity. And a simple, selfless act is a true heroic one of courage and valor. Think about the life milestones we missed: weddings, baby showers, graduation, travels, career opportunities, coming out of the closet, funerals. Yet how we came to appreciate the tiny pleasures in life we had always overlooked: home-cooked dinner with loved ones, a simple hug, a handshake of gratitude, a sloppy kiss, a passionate communion. Think about how we always tried to look for the silver linings, yet we saw no sunrise on the horizon, but we kept clinging onto an eclipse glimmer of the moon, rainbows, and of nightmares, unicorns, and miracles. Think about the global outcry calling for racial equality we sparked, and the continuous uphill battle against hate crime we try to print our mark. Think about how we wrongfully projectiled our anger toward innocence, demanding an answer when this crossroad would end, yet it was always a dead end. And instead, we consoled through music, words, and poetry. We tried to zig our ways, yet the world zagged against us. We thought our lives have become a silent, chaotic orchestra with no conductor, randomly moving yet static, aimlessly expressing yet muted. But our lives are a big New York Broadway musical, and 2020 is the part where the underdog is about to emerge victorious against their bullies, and a standing ovation is sure to follow. We might have felt like a sinking Titanic with all its past glory, or a rising ghost ship in Bermuda. But the season of Renaissance and the awakening of our cities are on the horizon, revived from a long, cold hibernation, almost ready to breathe fire once more. The most important of all is that we are still here. The past is not forgotten. The future will be celebrated. Hope comes from believing that something out there can never be lost. We might be solitary, but we are parts of a collective being. It has been a dark tunnel in our ride, and there will be more. But as long as there's hope, then light will always find its way. Life finds a way. It's always darkest right before dawn, but every dawn will break and the grass will gleam once again. So wait for the light. Wait for the light. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give Josh.
Joshua,
that was so beautiful, Joshua. Loved it.
Thanks, guys.
Amazing.
Whoa. I'm hungry.
Joshua Kernia out in San Francisco, California. I love the Bay Area out in Cali, so shout out to them. And when Joshua started, he's like, I don't write much. This is just one poem I had and whatever. And then like every week he's back with a new awesome poem. A line by line is his podcast. We're going to talk about that later when I bring the cards back up. Joshua Kernia, appreciate having you around here, brother. Don't be a stranger. You're addicted now. Now we're going to the rock star. Where is, oh, there he is, Alexander Goldberg, the Goatberg, out in South Cali. Alexander, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Did you notice we're wearing the matching color shirts?
Oh, snap. Oh, Alexander's trying to be my new wingman. That's what he's trying to be, my new wingman.
Oh, yeah. That would be a great job, by the way. Yeah. Next month, Senator Mitt Romney will receive the JFK Profile and Courage Award. So with that in mind, and with the unstable situation of the world that we live in, I thought that it would be the right time to remind our audience who John F. Kennedy was and what was his legacy. So this is called the president of our dreams. He embodied the hope of the nation. To the stars, that's where we turned our eye. He's the youngest to win an election, but he's also the youngest to die. He was seen as a new face with manners. It was not only him, but his wife, with a sophistication and glamour that appeared in political life. He opposed Richard Nixon, conservative, the most prominent of politicians, but proposed an attractive alternative, and he had telegenic appearance. On TV, he spoke more energetically of the future, presenting his mission. He embodied the youth of America, and he won thanks to the television. He delivered his first speech as president, and the people were taken by storm, because during his speech, he was able to set the tone for his upcoming term. In his speech, he said boldly and proudly, "Our energy, faith, and devotion will undoubtedly light up the country. They will light up the people who serve it. And the shining will surely continue. It will light up the world very soon." John F. Kennedy's greatest achievement is his role in manned flight to the moon. Congress members were first ones to hear it. 1961, May 25, to uplift the American spirit and have mankind's achievements revived. he proposed to send men for moon landing. For this program and for its success, John F. Kennedy will be remembered in 100, in 200 years. Having missiles and stunt put the world on the course of a dangerous nuclear war, JFK said the goal is not triumph by force. Our goal is protection of law. Our goal is not peace at the price of the freedom. We want to achieve something better. What we want in this moment and what we all need is to have peace and freedom together. John F. Kennedy led. Crisis came to an end. It was difficult, tough situation. His team wasn't consent with intent to prevent escalation of this confrontation. But the war overshadowed his greatest success, war that he was unable to haunt. Through the 60s and 70s, it rocked the States. He did not live to see the result. He was assassinated in Dallas. People loved him all over the globe. They were left with a feeling of crisis. They were left with destruction of hope. He had people excited for what future brings. And although he was idealistic, he embodied most viable, promising things that America had in the 60s. What occurred on that day was horrendous. People were in despair. People cried. The emotions he gave were tremendous. People were deeply shocked when he died. Thank you.
Unmute yourself.
History lesson, baby.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Killed it, man.
Let me just choose that.
LeBron's
jump shots. So good.
Alexander Goldberg. Every now and then likes to drop some history or a remix of a Britney Spears pop song. You never know what you're gonna get with this dude, man. He's like another wild card. I love having him on. Alexander Goldberg. You can find him on Facebook. All that information coming up again. Now we're going to the farmer turned poet, or maybe he's the poet turned farmer, and that is Mr. Tessasomo. Look at him, man. He wearing a snazzy shirt, matching the background. I'm loving it, Mr. Tessasomo. The floor is yours, brother. Good to see you.
Thank you. And I think we have a professor replacement already. The Goldberg is ready for Professor Goldberg. The master class. This is the master class you didn't know you needed, not the one you signed up for. This is the master class with no celebrity teachers, no poet laureates that want you to develop an appreciation for poetry. This class will not help you develop a listener's cognitive psychology. This class will not help you with your color, flavor, perceptual bias, your prototypical thinking, your olfactory memory, your autobiographical emotions, and your poetry sensory analysis. This master class will break your consensus model. It appreciates differences among poets and listeners, reflects their individual physiology, reinforces neurophysiology, neuropsychology, neurophysiology, invalidating differences among poets and listeners. This master class has no syllabus, no recommended reading, no prerequisites, no online, no synopsis, no program, no recapitulation, no conspectus, no rundown, no age limit. No entry fee. But as DG Clearing will tell you, please donate at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And no one gives a shit about your reviews, but for sure, it's once a week. This is not the master class that will jaundice in your I poems. Your I equals ego poems will not endure the communer perceptions. This master class will shatter your terminal uniqueness, will shatter your obsession with your orifices. We are glad you discover them, that you discover your anorgasmia, and that they bring you your personal endorphin, oxytocin, and opiate trip. Either your orifices or your I poems deliver a transcendental real or its pure self-indulgence. Only so many of those poems before they will start tuning you out. This is not the master class that will abandon you in your puppy poetry stage. There's enough newspaper to dump your poetry on. This master class will not judge your dysphorias, your unsolidified identity, your individual affinity choices. This master class will cheerlead you and make you feel like a superstar. This is the master class that will beat the exaggerated sense of your abilities and your achievements, your constant need for attention, affirmation, and praise, your exceptionalism, your perverted sense of exploiting others' personal pain, your sense of entitlement, your expectation for special treatment, your preoccupation with power or success, your grandiosity, your feelings of envy, and your lack of empathy for others. This is the master class that pick and shovel lyricism, shower you with similes like an ass, shock your norms with the musicality of allegorical homologies. We like to call metaphor the serendipity of cognitive dissonance and the personifications and animalification. This is the master class that will gain you many detractors and at best, and few followers, at best, a community who will claim you. If you're lucky, some will praise you. This is the master class, as Paul Skiff will remind us, that the New Eurekan Miguel Algarin wrote.
Unmute yourself, give it up for the Tesla Somo. Look, I think he got a better shirt on than me. I'm not mad about it. And if you saw in the background, his niece made that artwork. He comes from a talented family. Mr. Tesla Somo, find him on Instagram at Gaseous2019. I will be putting that back up in a second. First, I want to give some shout outs. Got to give a shout out to Jive Poetic, who here is a host at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Learned a great deal from that man. He opened up paths for me. Got to shout out Nathan P., another person who hosted here at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe for a long time. Learned a lot from that gentleman as well. Shout out to Mahogany Brown, hosted here for 13 years. She is a legend here. She opened up many doors for me. I learned a lot from her as well. And shout out to my brother Chance. Because Chance may have gone on Facebook trying to give him all his credit about all my success, because I'm succeeding more than him. But in all honesty, I've learned a lot about hosting from Chance. And he takes it a little too far making fun of people, but I'll make fun of people on the open mic because I saw him do it and I was like, that works. That is awesome. I do it to the point where people laugh. He does it to the point where people hate him. That's why he had to flee New York and leave to Florida. But I love you, Chance, brother. It is recorded. I am giving you props. And I'm saying all this because next coming up is another poet who I have learned from and who has opened up paths for me. There would be no Monday night online open mic without this woman. She is, I was going to call her the pilot. I was going to call her the queen. I was going to call her the goddess, but no, she is the mother of deities. She is the host of the Thursday night online open mic. And like I said, the success that it was had on Thursday night led the New Eurekan to saying, we need another night. This is crazy. And that's why we have the Monday night online open
better
mic.
than you to run that show. Congratulations.
Bruja's in the building. She is in Puerto Rico right now, but at least for the next 2 hours or so, she's gonna be a little jealous of me because I'm in the cafe. But then I'm gonna go back to being jealous of her because she's on the island. Thank you for all you have done for me personally, for the community, for the New Eurekan. I am so honored to have you here. The floor is yours, goddess.
So happy. I mean, I'm so happy I'm not hosting too. I get to chill. I got my funny cigarettes and I'm chilling in Puerto Rico. Yes, it's been paradise. And I was thinking of, you know, doing some old classic shit, maybe like New Eurekan, you know, but that's all on Spotify and YouTube. You can find all that. I was like, let me do some new shit, you know? We lost our poet mums. And he always strived for excellence. His thing was always, okay, you got a good poem, but what's the last shit you wrote? I love that. So we all have to strive for excellence. So these are just some bars I just wrote while some of them were a little old that I took from my notebook and put them in, but then I put some polish. I hope this is cool. I hope this is cool. I love you motherfuckers so much. Here we go. The Good Witch of the North from the Bronx, New York. People like the way I talk because my accent, of course. Native New Yorkers talk how the street taught us. The verbal truant officer never really caught us. We sip water, not water. This isn't Harry Potter. The way I chop up English, even butchers call it slaughter. Boogie down, baby, and a Puerto Rican's daughter, making telephone booth number calls with a quarter. I'm a tapestry, seamlessly weave together. In the wrong cycle, I unravel like a sweater. But if you know couture, we crochet it back together. We're motherfucking poets. We could do whatever. And I don't care who knows my secrets, and that makes me different. They no longer have power, neither do the ones who fling them. Sing them into the comets for all I care. Your hatred don't matter because I love what's in here. I'm the ringleader of a spiritual circus, and everyone's an acrobat of self-expression. I give you good brain if you're trying to get mind fucked. Is it a lesson, a blessing, or a time for Smith and Wesson, Chuck? I'm a drama queen on the movie screen. Behind the scenes, don't come to me with no bullshit, please. No beans with Condoleezza, no platter full of cheese, no doo-doo on your teeth. I keep caca free. Right, first anniversary only happens once. So I'm here to tell each of you just what I want. Live 100 years more and keep writing, never stop. You've brightened up the moments that have been so dark. You each hold a special place in my heart. But if you really love me, when you see me, make sure your shit is sharp.
That was a piece.
Yes. La Bruja. You can find her on the Instagram and Twitter at La Bruja NYC. And she hosts every Thursday night. She will be hosting this Thursday night. She runs the flagship online open mic every Thursday. And you can do more than poetry there. Comedy, hip hop. I occasionally check in when I got the time because I love it. She is awesome. And she doesn't need all the extra production value like I tell her because she got like the windpipes of an angel. Like this woman does everything. She is model. She's an actress. She's a writer. She does hip hop. She's done comedy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she has done a bunch. She has too much talent. It's not fair. And I look 10 years older than her when, you know, like, she's a little bit older than me. Like how the heck would this be? Like if I'm walking down the street where someone's gonna pull me aside and like card us, like, excuse me, you know, how old are you, sir? And how old is she? La Bruja, you need to check her out. And she's starting to direct her own stuff. She's put together her own videos. Need to check her out Thursday nights. Bruja, thank you for everything you have done. I love you, sis. I appreciate you so much. And, you know, we got to talk. We got some things we need to talk about, work out. We're going to work on. La Bruja. So that is the end of Block B. One more time, let me shine a light on everyone. Assam Zinay, Catherine Bedan, Joshua Kernia, Alexander Goldberg, Mr. Tessasomok, and La Bruja. There's all the information for you to gather, and you can look them up. Block B was brought to us by the New York State Council on the Arts. Appreciate y'all very much. Please send us more money. I want to do this for another year. All right, Block D. We have Unmesh Mohit, Mr. Speaker, Ed Poetastic. Oh man, there's a typo there. Forget that extra I put in there. Ed Poetastic and Emily Cordes. Block C is being brought to us by the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs. But first, coming up, we have Gigi. And I saw Gigi. Gigi is also, see her right there. She's out in Central Massachusetts. She also does the hair thingy. And she's a teacher. And she sits for no one. I like that she's standing up and performing on Zoom. Gigi, the floor is yours.
Thank you. You can find me. I actually have a new website that launched today because I wanted to debut it during the anniversary show. It's Arcadian Poetry, arcadian-poetry.com. All right, I'm just gonna go right into it. I have two poems, one I wrote today in honor of the anniversary, and one of them, which is one of the very first poems I ever wrote. I never thought that when I started writing poetry in 2020, that I would be here a year later. So I'm so glad for the community that I've gotten. I love you guys. All right. Those who taught me to love myself. 1, her. I was 13, she was 15, and you made me feel beautiful. You called me your girlfriend, and I retreated to the closet. If I gave myself permission of authenticity, the bullies at school who carved homophobia into lockers and into the rumors and laughter were justified. I never admitted I liked girls more than boys for 7 more years, too. Him. I was 14, he was 22. You were my sister's boyfriend. I wish confessions of resistance to a parent were met with safety and not with why can't you let your sister be happy? When I found out you died 4 years ago, that cancer ravaged your body. I'd never wish a disease would handle you like you did to me, but now I can bury you in the cavities of my brain. 3, him. I was 15, he was 18, and you taught me that older men don't want younger girls for their minds. They want them for their bodies on top of bodies counted like cattle in a slaughterhouse. 4, we kissed and you moved away. I'm sorry I never asked you to be my girlfriend. I was still piecing together parts of me, and you were the one where I admitted I was queer. 5, him. I was 18 and you were 40. We were co-workers. Maybe it was the way that my welding helmet and leather boots spoke to you. After 6 months of harassment, you cornered me in a parking lot. I reported you and you disappeared. Unsafe in my occupation, wary of construction, so I fled. 6, love isn't always romantic. And if I found a soulmate, you'd be mine. 7, him. 4 years is not a life sentence, and just because a relationship isn't bad isn't a valid enough reason to stay. 8, her. You were as beautiful as your vices vile. When you mouthed the words, I loved you to me, I could never decipher if it was you or the drugs that looked at me with such lust. 9, them. Your eyes were full of flowers. I wish I had known they were oleanders. You were beautiful and poisonous. 10, him. You taught me that love is forever, and watching you die, I know that you love me for more, but dear Father, I will love you longest. 11, me. You are sorting through pieces, both robbed and written. You are breaking bonds and binds and planting flowers in your rib cage and learning how to grow. You are blooming. And the second one is called Handful of Hourglass Sand. There was a moment unspoken when time was broken. Everything came to an abrupt stop. Chronos ceased creating seconds. Hermera no longer gifted us with sunlight with a purpose. Time stopped, but the earth still shifted when the pandemic swifted and enveloped the lives we once knew. Seconds melted into minutes. We are scooping up sand from hourglasses and sprinkling them over graves, saying from dust to dust, as we watch ourselves blow away into the wind. Winded from exhaustion, exhausted from existing. They say glass is forged from sand after undergoing extreme heat. Our souls now under fire. We are reflecting clearer images of ourselves. Were we ever in quarantine or in chrysalises? Were we melting or molting wings? It's been a timeless year. Living on repeat, holidays still stagnant, Easter passing with no resurrection. I'm wondering, when the day hits, that time starts up again, will we be using calendars or trying to find sand to fill up our broken hourglasses? Thank you.
Everyone unmute yourself. Give some energy.
That was so good.
Love both of them.
Melinda.
So
good.
Powerful.
Yes, priestess.
Thank you.
Great, Gigi.
Thank you.
Gigi kicking off Block C from Massachusetts. I love that Gigi stands up and performs her poetry, and she allows her poetry to come through her body and then it comes through her voice. I love it. And Gigi is so given with her work. You know, I know we do this online, but like there's a lot of people on here that are very given to themselves, and we're connecting and we start to learn more about each other's personal lives and like that. And and I appreciate those who do that, just like Gigi. Iron_resilience, and she's got her new website. Gigi, make sure you put it in the Zoom chat where your website is. Arcadian-poetry.com. You forgot the R in your sign. It says poetry. We forgot, but it's okay. Arcadian-poetry. We knew the R was supposed to be there. That's Gigi. Want to give some more shout outs to people in the building. Mariella Salazar. I don't know if she's still here, but Mariella was here in the very beginning. She is out in England. She may have gone to bed, but I saw her checking in early. Nonetheless, Mariella Salazar, shout out to her. Also shout out to Jody Ortega. I saw Jody. She's a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Amanda Villanueva gives us so much energy. Every now and then she's checking us out, and I'll see her in the background. She's combing her hair, she's cleaning the room, doing whatever, listening to us in the background. Appreciate you so much, Amanda. Marilyn Uriah, shout out to Marilyn. She is always showing up, giving love, liking all the stories about the Monday Night Online Open Mic, checking us out here on Zoom. Shout out to Jasmine G. Jasmine G hasn't signed up, but I believe Jasmine G is on Instagram. She's a life coach, and for like the last 3 to 4 weeks, she has been sneaking in here and listening to our poems. Shout out to her. I see her. Mariella Cabrera. Mariella, did you see the intro video? You better have. She's always coming in showing us love. Mashid Chowdhury. Mashid, did you see the intro video? You better have. I put you in it too. Shout out to her. Monet Ward. I don't know if that's Testimony or someone else, but shout out to Monet Ward. Umberto Marte, always showing love and whatnot. Also with the intro video, I tried to get all the people who signed up the most and been the most active and all of that. Next week, I'm changing it up because there are some people in the video who are not around anymore, but they were around a lot in the beginning. I felt I had to include them. And I want to make sure that this intro video with all of your beautiful faces is up to date. Like I didn't get to put Gwen C in there or Joshua Kernia, and these are people who are coming around. I'm gonna make sure I get them into there. Glissette also in the building, representing the Bronx. There's a lot more people I want to get to, but we got to move on. And I'm going to mention them later. Right now, we are going to a man who has breakfast with us every Monday, and that is Unmesh Mohitkar. Let me unmute Unmesh. His book just came out, by the way. Umesh, brother, it is good to see you. The floor is yours. Go ahead, rock it, brother.
Hello, everyone. I'm Unmesh Mohitkar on Facebook and Instagram, Mohitkar Unmesh on Twitter. And thanks, Neo family, for supporting my book, Light Shadow Life on Amazon. Advocate and La Bruja, you make us feel like superstars. And you taught us how to make others feel like superstars. This is your gift to the world. Thank you. Thank you. So here we go. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. I am ready. We are ready. Life off track. Life haywire. Our masks are on. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. You and me, our struggles are real. Though our facade might be fake, we are here to fight. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. Not invisible, not invincible. We are humans, will overcome everything. With spirit unimaginable. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. We are selfish, self-centered, self-loving, but when time comes, calling comes, we can be giving, loving, and caring. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. Lost many, found few, every week a challenge new, suffering, struggling, we welcome you. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. On hope we live, on hope we thrive. Hopeless times right now, missing few. Bring it on, what you got, 2021. The pain in the heart is throbbing and acute. Times and people have hurt us like getting hit by a bloody bus. We are hurting, still we are shrugging. Bring it on, what you got 2021. Our eyes are misty, our faces covered, hearts scared, but we are still ready to fight. End of the tunnel, we see the light. Bring it on, what you got 2021. We are separated, distance by race, religion, and country. But this year taught us every person is important, and the most important is humanity. Bring it on, what you got 2021. Politicians still corrupt, systems broken, but we are ready to fix things. Bring it on, what you got 2021. There is smoke in the air, smelling decadent and heavy. We are here to clean the air, bring back the flair, resolve so rare, fight for us, by us, which is so fair. Bring it on, what you got 2021. Bring it on, what you got 2021. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot. You guys rock.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Unmask, you rock. You rock on that.
Gosh, that was so
It's very
So much
positive,
energy,
man.
love it.
and poetry.
Bring it on, bring it on.
That was so good.
Umesh Mohika, I love this dude's energy. I love his writing, but don't tempt the gods. Umesh, what are you doing? Oh, by the way, so I wanted to get over to Yankee Stadium to take this picture because it was like a real Bronx thing to do. But I figured, you know what might actually be better is if I'm on Zoom and to let Unmesh know that his book is inside the New Eurekan Poets Cafe right now. Look at it. Oh, your book is touching the sign. It's gonna make babies with the sign, Unmesh. Oh, I think that's better than me taking a picture next to Yankee Stadium with it, right? I mean, you may appreciate this more than Yankee Stadium. I would have preferred Yankee Stadium, but I think you would have preferred this. Your book just did the naughty with the New Eurekan Poets Cafe sign. So not many people can say that. You can say that now. Unmesh Mohikar, thank you so much, brother, for getting up early in the morning. Unmesh is a farmer too, okay? He does some farming, Tessa Somok does, and Marissa Prada does as well, that I found out. We're not going to hear from Marissa tonight, but she does as well. Got to shout her out. All right, Elizabeth Strauss is next. Real quick, wanted to shout out some more people. Erica Soto in the building. Dr. Katrina Gazanfar. I hope I said your last name right. I mean, you're a doctor, right? Like, we got to say doctor's names right. You've earned it. You got your doctorate. So if I said your name wrong, I'm so sorry. Susanna Praver Perez. Hi, Susanna. How you been? I'm glad to see that you are here. I shouted out Chance, forget him. Gwen C, shouted out Gwen C. Madeline Garcia in the building. Shout out to her. Thank you for checking in. Catherine Yu. Catherine Yu is back. This is like her 5th, 6th week in a row of watching us. Appreciate her. Propaganda Poet is also in the building, always coming with a lot of energy and love. He's become a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Thank you for checking this out, brother. Ryan, I don't know if it's Tack or Takak. Not sure what it is, Ryan. Your last name is throwing me for a loop. But shout out to you, man. I'm so happy to do you checking this out. Ciara Beveridge. I hope I'm saying that last name right. Beverage, it's not spelled like beverage, but it is. But did I just trigger getting picked on as a kid? They always say that you're a tall drink of water, Ciara. I don't even see your picture, but I'm just making fun of your name. Sorry. Shout out to Ciara. MKC. I don't know who this person is, but they've been checking in the last few weeks. Also, Kevin Alexander, he came in a little late. Wanted to let him know that we see him. Yvette Raymore also checking us out. Appreciate you all checking in. And of course, Paul Conqueso's better half, Rosie's here, man. She's dealing with us and she's always showing love. I appreciate her as well. Okay, we are now going to Elizabeth Strauss, who we call Deadpan Lizzie. Where is Elizabeth? I saw her. There she is. Elizabeth Strauss, we call her Deadpan Lizzie. Although her flow is deadpan, her words have a lot of life. Elizabeth, I'm so happy to have you here tonight. The floor is yours, my beanie sister.
So good to see everyone. This marks my 3rd month anniversary with Nuo, and this community is such a beautiful place, and thank you for everything. So here we go. 3 months ago to the day, I did not have the confidence to spit new shit. I did not even know what new shit was, at least in the poetic sense. I knew the fabulous East Village Cafe, watching other artists perform, embracing authenticity in one of my favorite neighborhoods, but not until a cold winter's night in January did I feel confident enough to share my words aloud. Typing away on this map for years and years, mending a broken heart with poetry, fusing my words and honesty into the pages, texting to my love the stanzas, putting it out on social media, finally feeling like myself again after years of putting my heart back together. I have never been good at lotteries. I know that sounds odd, but luck has never been consistently in my corner. When the artist confirmation appeared in my inbox, I could not back down. It was time to spit. Artist after artist, one more brilliant than the next, each bringing their unique self to the Zoom box, feeling intimidated by each one, thinking I was not good enough to be on here. But then number 19 was called to be my own advocate of words, sharing 2 of my pieces, refinding my elemental. I knew I had found my potastic home, and I became addicted. The deadpan beanie wearing soul sister lesbian is not the same woman she was 3 months ago. Hell, if you had told me I'd be reciting erotic poetry on Zoom calls, I would say you are mad. Thank you to this community. Thank you for uplifting me. Thank you for the snaps. Thank you for the amazing pen names. Thank you for making me want to come back and spit with you late into the night. Thank you for being my family.
Unmute yourselves, give
That's
some
the
love.
realest speaker
Give
I've heard.
love, yo,
Yeah, that's
Elizabeth.
beautiful.
That was real talk right
Glad you're
there.
here.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Queen.
Love you, Deadpan.
Love you all. Thank
Elizabeth Strauss, who's also in the realty business. You need to check out this woman. Elizabeth, thank you so much. I love having her on. And what I love about this community too is that everyone is developing their own voice. They're not trying to sound like everyone else. And the same thing with Elizabeth. She came in with her deadpan style, but like I said, her words have so much light. And it's also so weird for me to hear her like praising us, saying, thank you for creating this space, because it's like, it's really all of you who do it. Like, we have such a wonderful community, and then somehow I get credit for it. And then I could come and lean on the cafe and say, listen, you're going to open up your doors during this pandemic so I could do this 1-year anniversary. So I love it. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being part of this community. And we want you here. I want you to know that. I'm sure you know that, but I just want to say it again. Like, I love it. That, you know, I appreciate hearing the poems like that, where the people are giving, you know, us and the New York props. But it's always funny to me because I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, all I really do is say, all right, you talk next, everyone clap for them. And now you talk next, and then everyone clap for them. That's basically my job. So I love it. Thank you. Deadpan Lizzie, Elizabeth Strauss. You can find her on Facebook. I'm gonna put all that information up again. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker is there. Oh, I love his background. Oh, he's standing up. Oh my God. Wait a second. Listen, folks. You better get ready. Because I say, if we're ever going to war, this is our general. This is the dude who you will want to run into full speed a brick wall for. This is a leader of warriors. Mr. Speaker, you look ready. I'm loving your background. I'm going to mute myself. The floor is yours, brother.
Good evening. Good evening. Bring your best. The heart of a military leader. Have you ever stood strong when fear was all around? I mean, did you actually stand tall while others fell to the ground? Have you ever done what common sense said not to do, even when others ran and said, come on, man, don't be a fool? Has fear ever gripped you so tightly that you had to concentrate just to breathe? Look, I'm talking about the kind of fear that brings even the strongest men down to their knees. Have you ever had to remain calm and lead others to a safe place while fear was clouding your judgment and causing your heart to race? Have you ever been so frozen by fear that you just didn't know what to do? I have, but I had to go on because 237 soldiers were looking at me to lead them through. See, fear in the face of a leader, well, it could destroy the will of many people, while fear that goes unfaced could become deadly and extremely lethal. All right. Well, have you ever had to give an order for someone to do something that even you were afraid to do yourself? I mean, a command so crazy, you wouldn't do it for all the world's wealth? Have you ever had to send somebody out on a mission that you knew they might not complete? That would be one of those nights where this leader didn't get any sleep. Have you ever had to give CPR to someone who worked for you? Well, I worked on Specialist Sierra for about an hour, but he didn't pull through. Have you ever had to carry the body of someone who saved your life? The whole time I was thinking, what in the world am I going to tell his wife? Have you ever had to tell someone that her loved one was no longer alive? Trust me, you can actually see her heart breaking through the tears flowing from her eyes. Have you ever stood over a person who was dead due to an order you gave? Don't stand too close to the funeral, because baby, you might want to jump into his grave. Have you ever had to stand before a grieving family? Yes, it is completely sad. Their soldier gave his life for this country, and all I had to give him back was a U.S. flag. See, I'm a leader of soldiers because that is what I was called to do. And just for the record, I'm not telling you all this to prove anything to any of you, because see, most people don't understand a true combat soldier, warrior, leader. Well, here's some insight for you late night pandemic poets and readers. How did you feel when the World Trade Center fell, the Pentagon got hit, and those planes hijacked? This soldier, this leader was devastated. Thousands dead on my watch. And it was my job to prevent that attack. You really don't understand the sacrifices we made for the armed forces. Heck, I missed birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, and been through a couple of damn divorces. We learned loyalty, honor, respect for the U.S., for government, and for freedom. But see, we actually fight for our fellow soldiers. You understand if you ever took the time to meet them. So yes, I face fear for you, and even those that act like complete jerks. Because baby, failure is simply not an option for me when I go to work. See, I'm descended from kings, forced into slavery. So here is my quote. I fought for this country before I even had the right to vote. I'm the Buffalo Soldier who fought the Indians and settled the West. Absent from those history books, it's my blood, sweat, and hard work that helped build the U.S. I bravely charged up San Juan Hill and was later discredited in the press because racism wouldn't let you view me as the nation's best. I'm the courageous, hardworking sailor who signed up at the local rally to London. I could only serve my country from deep in the ship's galleys. I'm that black flyer who defied all odds to fly, fight, and win. Well, you might have heard them say I'm one of those red-tailed Tuskegee Airmen. I fought in all the U.S. conflicts to include 2 world wars to stop global oppression. But it wasn't until the Korean War that we overcame segregation. The media and the public want you to call me a hero. But you treated my Vietnam brothers, those leaders, like complete zeros. Those Vietnam warriors followed orders, fought with honor, and had no regrets. But when they came home to your insults, no cheers, just total disrespect. Well, this soldier has faced this fear through multiple wars in the Middle East. And I salute those dealing with fear right now, baby, so we can enjoy poetry here in peace.
Unmute dope, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, for the
Birds, they were so so appreciated. Thank you.
Speaker.
Snap to you.
Speaker. Apparently, we have some more people who served in the military. Saw some people in the Zoom chat talking about, I wish that Mr. Speaker was leading me when I was signed up. I appreciate you so much. And Mr. Speaker has no fear when he speaks. And I'm big on freedom of speech, and that's important, man. You have to be brave, and he does that as well. Also, our general manager is still here, Jason Quinones. He's got his video camera on. He's trying to show off the hair. He see me got my hair. He's like, nah, brother, I'm gonna show mine. He's also in the frat. Apparently, he knows what frat you were in, Mr. Speaker. He was giving you props. So make sure that you look in the chat. Shout out to Jason. We're gonna get Chris on soon, man. Jason's trying to show his hair off here. We're gonna get your hair on here soon, Chris. Talking about Chris Lopez. All right, Eddie Foreman, Ed Poetastic is next. I'm so mad I put the typo in there, man, with his name, because then I also put his name in wrong. He had to get me on Facebook. He was like, yo, man, gotta get my name right. Ed Poetastic in the building. Ed, good to see you, brother. I'm sorry about messing up your name, but the floor is yours. Rock out.
It's all cool, bro. No problem. Well, do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Happy anniversary. What up, my potastic people? I hope everyone having a good anniversary. Woo, for Norican. I got some bad news. My poem is on my cell phone, is having a little technical issues, but I'll substitute for another poem. But hopefully after internet, I'm just gonna post it for tomorrow. Okay, this is called I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you because you're there for me too. Thank you for bringing me love. Thank you for bringing me support. Thank you for bringing me memories. Thank you for bringing me adventures. Thank you for bringing me a backbone. Thank you for bringing me wisdom. Thank you for bringing me criticism. Thank you for bringing me meaning. Thank you for bringing me joy. Thank you for bringing me empathy. Thank you for bringing me understanding. Thank you for bringing me love. Thank you for bringing me laughs. Thank you for bringing me helping hands. Thank you for bringing me energy. And thank you for finding a friend in me. Thank you so much. And remember, I'll be there for you. Thank you, everyone. You guys are potastic, ponificent. Words can't describe how much I love Norican and everyone else. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay potastic.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ed.
Yes,
Fantastic.
It's the highlight,
Nice.
man.
Fantastic.
Yes, yes.
Love you.
Thank you.
Every time.
I love you.
Man, Poetastic, always bringing that awesome, good, poetastic energy. If we were in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he would be Ed, Poetastic, like Mr. Fantastic, stretching out and reaching to the people and giving them love, bear hugs. He's like social distancing, but I could still give the bear hug. All right, make sure you give him a follow, Ed Foreman92 at Instagram. You see, I remembered it. I didn't have to look at my sheet, Ed, because I kept going over it because I felt so bad I got your name wrong. Okay, well, your social media wrong. That's what I got. Not his name wrong, but I got social media wrong. All right, Emily Cordes is next. Where is Emily? Shout out to Poetic Desire, who's in the building. I'm not sure if I shouted her out. If I shouted her out already, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna shout her out because I wanna make sure I said her name. So, and I really haven't been able to look around at people to see who's here because I'm trying to do so many different things. So I'll make sure I shouted her out. And Net Vega, I know I shouted her out. Did you see the intro video? Did you see it? No, you didn't see. Oh my God. Oh my God. Turn your video off. I don't want to see you for a second, all right? Shout out to Net Vega from the Bronx. Emily Cordes is a curator, a producer, an actress, a writer. She was instrumental in helping put the Monday Night Online open mic together before she left for bigger and better things. And now, she is standing up. She is a theater head. I love theater heads. Oh, and she got this shirt. She got awesome. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself. Emily, the floor is yours.
All right, wow. I'm just so amazed. This is that we've hit the 1 year mark, and I just wanted to say that before I start, this has been one of the biggest silver linings of this pandemic is getting up close and personal with all the poets who make the cafe what it was. When I worked in the office, a lot of times just after the days ended, I would just peace out, wouldn't really stick around for shows as much. But this has brought me up close and personal with all of you, and I'm so thankful for that. So I'm going to read 2 poems. This one I wrote for the occasion. It's called Architecture of Breath. An English teacher once told me, poetry is breath architecture. Each word a yoga pose infused with prana, a prayer inspired in spirit as it's uttered, wind-cast dandelion seed pods, or the comets that we wish on, ink trails blazing through the cosmos, pens like Harold's purple crayon, looping tangles strung together, forming images from chaos to bestow on airy nothings a local habitation and a name. So while East 3rd Street slumbers, sleeping giant of our memories, we'll build a house of words to shelter us, paint the walls with metaphors and hang our tales like crystal chandeliers. Freaks and misfits round the table, all the wounded and the mighty, flaunting ink tattoos, displaying battle scars. as we reclaim and remember, piecing scattered souls together, forging filigree to patch our shattered hearts. We exist beyond all limits, under no man's jurisdiction. What our souls create, let nothing tear apart. As each day within this guest house brings arrivals and departures, and the players come and exit through the stage's sacred wings, still these walls we built will sing because we do. Okay, and this next one, I wrote this a little while back as a love letter to this community. It is called New Shit. New shit, who dis? My inner perfectionist dies in fire that we spit. Ego's gonna shit some bricks, but self-judgment stones and sticks when my truth can't be eclipsed. Fuck the need to be so precious. Got no time for second guesses. Lay it out now, hot and fresh, from the cat's ass, speaker says. In the Zoom mirrors, we're reflected, hearts exposed and unprotected, but like cookie dough and sex, it's the raw stuff that's the best. Mondays, Thursdays on the mic, lighting up my COVID nights. Even when shit hits, we're tight. Even mandates from on high, petty fucks who suck us dry. Politicians oozing spite can't extinguish our shared light. Later, as I lie in bed, new shit's forming in my head. Notes apps filling A to Z. Chat books lined up to be read till the day we slam again. So pass the mic like blunt and lighter. Spark it like the Energizer. Thank you, fam, for this reminder. Shit can become fertilizer. Thank you.
That was awesome.
That last line. Yes.
I love it.
All right. Thanks for the shout out.
So good.
Emily Cordes, fantastic artist. And when I first met her, she was working in social media here. And when I'd come downstairs to go get my checks, and I'd be like, who's doing the social media? Oh, that's Emily. Oh, Emily is great. And Emily would tell you, be like, yo, I like what you're doing with our social media. In her head, she's probably thinking, I do more than that. I'm an artist too. And she's a fantastic artist. I am so happy that Emily got to move on into bigger and better things with her job, but I'm even happier that she comes back and she is still part of this community. Thank you so much, Emily, for the work you've done behind the scenes and for your work as an artist. So inspiring. I love having Emily on. You know, when I think about Emily, I think about me because I do all the curating and producing, you know, but Emily is less hairy and more attractive than me, you know, and more talented, but, you know, we could be on the same team. Emily's awesome. Okay, so that is the end of Block C. And one more time, let's put all that information up so you can copy it and follow these people. Gigi, Unmesh Mohitgar, Elizabeth Strauss, Mr. Speaker, Ed Poetastic. I'm sorry, I got the typo right there. That extra I shouldn't be there, but his Instagram handle is correct, Ed Foreman 92. You'll be able to find him. And Emily Cordes. Again, all this is brought to us by the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, which is dedicated to supporting and strengthening New York City's vibrant cultural life. Among their primary missions is to ensure adequate public funding for nonprofit cultural organizations, both large and small, throughout the 5 boroughs. Appreciate y'all for year 1. Give us more money for year 2. Okay, Block D, we have Bushra, who we're gonna find out how to properly pronounce his last name, Sarah Erin, Generalissimo, Jane Spoken Word, Tara Lee, and Ron Mark Thompson. And Block D is being brought to us by the Amazon Literary Partnership. Appreciate y'all money so we could do this Monday night online open mic. So Bushra is first. Where is Bushra? I did see Bushra here. Where is Bushra? Where are you, Bushra? Make sure that your video camera's on. Don't tell me we lost him, because he signed up last time. He was on the waiting list. Wait, okay. People are pointing and I found you. Bushra. Let me ask to unmute you. First time we are going to hear Bushra. Bushra, first off, where are you located?
Hello, everyone. I'm at Carbondale, Illinois, as of now. I am originally from Sudan, all the way Northeast Africa. I'm in here for a master's of engineering program. I'm doing a master in civil engineering.
You know what?
Yeah.
I went to college for engineering. I had quit because it wasn't for me, but I went for civil engineering.
I was too chicken to change, I guess. I got too invested, you know. But yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
How do I pronounce your last name?
It's Il Snoozy. You got it right the first time.
El Snoozy. So is it
Yeah.
It's El Snoozy?
Yeah. With an S in the end. El Snoozy.
El Snoozy. I'm gonna keep working on it because I want to make sure I say people's last names properly.
No worries.
Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic.
Thank
Props
you.
to you for going to get a master's within civil engineering. That's a lot of math. I know it. And now the floor is yours.
Appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm doing a master's in engineering, but poetry is the real passion, I guess. I'm caught by Bukowski's words. He said he would actually he would write for free. He would actually pay to write, and I actually respect that and understand that. And I hope you like my poetry. I'm gonna recite something of my more recent works. It's called The Gray, or a sinusoidal wave. I recently have been looking at things in gray, and it's a rather dangerous sensation, but I guess it's a wiser one, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, I'll get to it. Gray. Nothing matters in retrospect. I feel a comfort, an ease, an indifference, and in some cases a lacking. I may only be as prolific as my assimilation. It is more profound to be in the confines of an old library than a top seller. I long abandoned the toxic allure that may well have been my killer, and I almost envy those before the start line of the race. That comfort, that ease, that lack of pace. Nothing matters in retrospect. Glimpses, that's all of it. Driven, humbled with my flow. When will my inspired winds blow? I marked my feeling with a note from an old jazz tune. And from behind the wall of music, my love called, "Wait, I'm coming soon." She never compliments my looks, I wonder why. Whenever I see her, I feel high. Mid-air, her sunny smile. It lasts me a day, it lasts me a while. Alienated from my earth, I want more. In a dream, I've went all the way from east to west, learned all the tongues and every single instrument, fancied all cultures except for mine, and there I was, just fine. With a distant home in a shanty town, I miss that place called Umdurman. I hear a voice every day, and at time we converse. My shades, bland by my eternal anguish of afterlife, meet me at every crossroad, and between my reverence and my sin, it's as if I may never win. And I hear the preachers, and I read to the philosophy, and I get caught amidst the obscure duality. I told it to the ages, I did not lie. I'll tell it to my son before I die. I try to find conformity in love, but I face my scrutiny. And my beacon of hope has matured, unfortunately. It all normalizes at a point before the following atrocity. And I breathe to the heirs of my arrival, an ever resolute survival. My lover in my heart, my home in a distant part, my lord with thoughts so scarred, my vanity in each new start. Nothing matters in retrospect. I'm caught with a nihilistic will to resurrect. I exhaust the cheerful moments, persuaded into the litany of events, to each fleeting imperfection, an idea to better repent. And the longing, my God, the longing, it comes and goes with each breath. It leaves its mark ubiquitous beyond life and death. And I, stranded on my safe shore, bare to my naked core, see the fleeting bodies of selfish, silly worries. And time lifts me through to the other side. Sometimes I forget, it slips my mind. Meaning I approach, but very seldom find. Before a bright emission, a white light on a mission scatters the darkness, gathers the colors, and fades, and all that's left are gray shades.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Bushra.
Bushra, that was fire.
Amazing, Bushra.
Hell yeah. Well done.
What an amazing first time.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Bushra, El Snoozy, as you hear them saying, one of us, one of us. That means, Bushra, you have to come back. The people like you. What a way to introduce yourself to the Monday Night Online Open Mic, especially on the 1-year anniversary, coming to us from Sudan by way of Illinois. Bushra, El Snoozy, and in Illinois, Chicago Bears are out there. So I got some love for Illinois, even though Chicago Bears aren't doing well this year. Bushra, thank you so much. And extra shout out because civil engineering, not just an engineer, civil engineering. A lot of math in there, man. I took a lot of like architecture classes and stuff in high school and all of that. I enjoyed it, just wasn't for me. So shout out to Bushra. Next, we are going to someone who's slowly starting to become a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And the last time she performed, it got a little spicy because I think that's what she likes to do. And that is Sarah Erin. Sarah, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining us to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And I hope you don't become a stranger now. You've been here with the past few weeks. You're celebrating the anniversary. You're going to have to be here for the rest of the second year. Give up your Mondays. So the floor is yours, Sarah. Thank you for being here.
All right, we're going to do some more slightly spicy, but also kind of mushy because that's what I do, as you said. So I'm just going to get right into it. And I'm so happy that you guys have become my family. I really am. It's amazing to be here for the 1-year anniversary. This poem is new and it's called Smacked by the Dictionary. Occasionally, I let my mind get away from me, even when I'm fully aware that we will never happen and that my fantasies are written in the dictionary as the top definition for unrealistic and hopeless romantic. And still, every so often, I dream with my eyes wide open. I see you holding me, folding me in the quilt of your arms, stitch by stitch, clearer than my contact lenses. I feel the wisps of your curtain bangs between my pointer and middle finger, as if they are a window pane, blowing a breeze, slightly brushing your cheek while gently tucking the golden blonde strands behind your right ear. Hearing you breathe is the meaning of pure elation for me. And when your lips slowly graze my neck, you suspend my breath as I remember how lucky I am to share this moment with you, how incredibly blessed I am to have fallen in love with the woman who smiles the rays of the sun, who laughs the scent of rain after it falls, who walks electricity with every step, powering each light in any room she enters, who inspires a grin in the twinkle of her eye by making the people in her presence feel as though they are the center of her attention. Be the center of my attention. Let me bask in the affection, perfection, the goddess of your body, the angel of your mind, as I pray my naughty whispers in your ear, nibble on your earring a little, peck the outline of your jawline, a map to the bite on your neck leading to your chest. I lay my head on your breast and listen to your heartbeat. By far the best metronome to your musical moans I know I can elicit when I kiss every single crevice which creates the temple of your skin. Honey, rock me, make me sweat, get us wet, wash me in the sun shower of your feminine power. Slap me with a pride flag, remind me why I worship women aggressively, unapologetically simping, baby, respectfully. I'm begging you, bruising my knees to swallow every skittle that dribbles down the sides of your heavenly thighs. Open your pearly gates, don't make me wait, serve me that sugar. I am no amateur when it comes to tasting the fucking rainbow. Your painting is a Picasso. Your panting is the Picasso painting in the Museum of Modern Art. Your accelerated heart rate makes me a purveyor, surveyor of the greatest collection, a priceless conglomeration of characteristics, charming the garden of men and women who sit in pots like flowers, wilting, wishing to be watered, as they too let their minds wander and flip through the dictionary to find the word husband defined with a name which belongs to the love of your life, the man who calls you his wife. I shut the book of phrases, punch the eyes of my imagination, and through the swollen black, I am launched back to reality, a slowly healing clarity in the corner of my contacts, and on occasion, my recognition of him and of you is through a lens of telling the truth. I must learn how to live without loving you.
Nice.
Oh my God, Sarah.
Yeah.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
That was
girl.
good.
That was good.
Yes.
Drop that, Sarah. Dope.
Thank you for calling me out. Thank you.
Skittles everywhere. Skittles everywhere. Skittles everywhere.
Yeah, Skittles.
Love it. That is Sarah Erin. Make sure that you follow Sarah Erin. And she's on Sarah Goldberg, I think, on Facebook. And then she has, I forgot what it was. Wait. I got it right here. Yeah. Sarah Erin _poet on Instagram. Make sure that you click that. That was fire. Loved it. Okay. Next coming up, Generalissimo. A mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I think he is like a mainstay at everyone's open mic. He goes to all the open mics. He goes to all the workshops. I mean, this man puts in work. He is about it. Let me unmute him right there. He is with the sunflower in the background. Generalissimo, I'm so happy you're joining us today, brother. The floor is yours. Loving the hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. It's only about a month old. It's a seersucker hat. You know, before I came here the first time in mid-June, I went to the previous 2 weeks. I went to sign up, but I was afraid to sign up at the New Yo because I had heard so many things about the New Yo. That's the physical New Yo. This is the family room New Yo because everybody walks in and their family immediately. That's because we have a good mama and papa and our La Bruja and advocate of Wordz. So let me start off with two haikus tonight. And I just wrote this first one right now. We are family whose blood that runs through our veins gives us poetry. The second one, the meaning of life is not about breathing, but deciding to breathe. Why we should be thankful for the existence of Hollywood squares. The reason I prefer gracias to thank you is not because I am a Sephardic Jew whose family escaped Spain to the Isle of Rhodes in Turkey during the Spanish Inquisition. It is not because my grandmother spoke Ladino, a dead form of Spanish from the 1400s, kept alive by Sephardic Jews for centuries. It is because thank you has that hard K that can take a gracious phrase in a sarcastic or mean direction. Thank you sounds like it was coined by the late Paul Lynde during an argument with Charles Nelson Riley over whose turn it was to occupy the center square. Gracias sounds like it is made of silk chiffon. Gracias dances across the tongue like a first dance waltz expertly executed by a bride and groom who took 2 months of ballroom classes from Russian instructors and now glide across a dance floor like Fred and Ginger. When I say gracias, I hear the word grace. I speak a language I know few words of, yet is so universal in its grace and elegance. It also gave us de nada. You are welcome. From squirrel to eternity. I saw a squirrel with a pine cone in its mouth twice the size of its head. The squirrel had torn apart the pine cone, so it didn't look like a pine cone. It looked primal, but the squirrel was fluffy and cute. I thought to myself that primal and cute never happened at the same time. I needed a picture. I walked around the corner and the squirrel was just sitting there in the shade under a bush on a 92-degree Maine July afternoon. I lifted my phone for a photo. The squirrel dropped the pine cone into his little paws and yelled, "Hey, motherfucker, I don't give you permission to take my photo or take film of me to make a fucking name your fucking human friends will fucking laugh at and post online." He put the cone in his mouth and jetted fast as fury, dodging and weaving a bevy of pine trees like a Heisman Trophy winner. He took shelter in a group of sculpted yews. I knew I'd never get the shot. I walked away and a pine cone that must have been flying 100 miles per hour hit the middle of my bald spot. As I lay in the grass, concussed and dizzy, the squirrel walked over to me and crossed his arms over his Ernest Borgnine from here to eternity barrel chest, looked me square in the eyes and said, "Take a photo of this motherfucker." Lady poetry. Poetry, it is no secret you are a woman. You are the goddess of midwifery. Each poem I give birth to births something inside my soul I never knew existed. Poetry births emotions, tears, laughter, anger, and confusion. Poetry births outrage, protest, justice, and humanity's ability to cure society's ills. Poetry births voices that did not know they were capable of eliciting everything poetry births. Poetry births words from minds that never knew they could communicate something visceral. Poetry births poets who read and hear poetry created by other poets, then find poetry inside their minds that will be read or heard by others who will create their own poetry, creating an infinite loop of other people creating poetry. Push, 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 push. One more, you can do it. Push. Congratulations. You've given birth to a poem. Gracias, everyone.
Unmute yourselves, give some love to
Bellissimo, that was so good.
Awesome.
Push out that noise. Push.
I love that piece too.
That was so good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Generalissimo, love this dude's energy, love the poetry, and you were warned, no censorship. Sometimes squirrels have a dirty mouth, man. I love this dude, Generalissimo. Make sure you follow him. Like I said, he is a mainstay at everyone's open mic and workshop. He is putting in that work. Make sure that you give him a follow. Okay, moving along. We are in the last hour, last 45 minutes. Jane's spoken word is next. Jane is another person who likes to, oh, Alyssa Beveridge. She brought someone along to watch. Hello, Alyssa Beverage's friend. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to see you here. Okay, Jane's spoken word. Oh, I'm loving the background, Jane. Jane always comes ready to party. It don't need to be an anniversary. It just needs to be a poetry open mic, and she comes ready to party. So, Jane, good to see you. The floor is yours.
Good to see you, everybody. I raise my glass to all the poets. Thank you so much for the inspiration. You've been a gift in this time of COVID. So thank you all. You're all in my heart. I picked this piece especially for today. I always walk my way around the city, mesmerized by crayon-colored skies, stained glass sun dripping golden warmth on my naked face, unmoored in the sea of the city of humanity, free to walk the avenues and streets, one-ways do not apply to me. This is a place I walk by on 2nd Ave, where the homeless men piss on Mary, desecrating the statue of the Virgin, whispering unspeakables under their breath, screeching obscenities at passersby, picking butts up off the sidewalk, saved for later's after-dinner smoke. Escorting my friends on a Broadway tour, the world is for sale. Profit-making persuasions, constructing invisible dreams, men's clothing, women's clothing, children's clothing, accessories, home decor, and so much more. With a Starbucks for your Java fix on every other corner. There's a place I walk by downtown where the homeless men piss on the ground of fallen martyrs, haunted by melancholy memories of what could have been, swamped in the cancerous smell of homelessness, grasping at tiny bits of remaining humanhood, helpless to stop their dreams from dying. Walking my beat along East Houston Street, I watch the sun crawl along the skyline, painting Manhattan skies, radiating rainbows, commanding beauty, silencing the word, if only for a moment. There's a place I walk by in Tompkins Park where the homeless men piss on Santa Claus.
Wait. Oh, wait, Jane, wait. You got muted. You got muted. Hold on. Can you unmute Jane? It's freezing for me. Jane's spoken word. She's unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
There we go. Go ahead, Jane. Sorry.
So where am I going from? Walking my beat along East Houston Street, I watch the sun crawl along the skyline, painting Manhattan skies, radiating rainbows, commanding beauty, silencing the word, if only for a moment. There's a place I walk by in Tompkins Park where the homeless men piss on Santa Claus, grumbling petty grievances that pass for pure thought, wrapped in blankets and caps and sweaters, breathing in stale air, drinking from paper bags rested on concrete tables, spinning tales like tornadoes as music drones on and on and on their beat-up boombox. Making my way home along the avenue, down to East 3rd Street, past old friends and new, with salutations of holas and what's up, and smiles to warm your soul. Because that's the way we roll. Down my street, on my block, in my city. Peace, yo. On Mateo, we are all related. We are all together in love. Peace.
Give it up for Jane's spoken word.
Yeah, Jane, that was so dope.
My hero.
You do that. How do you do that, Jane? So good. Yes.
Jane's spoken word. It doesn't have to be an anniversary show for her to come party. She always comes party. And I love her flow and her voice. Again, I so appreciate that the poets in this community are not trying to sound like other people. They are developing their own voice. Jane has carved out her own space here because she is looking to develop her own voice. I love it. She's got her book out. Make sure you give her a follow, Jane Spoken Word. Thank you so much, Jane. I appreciate your energy and your poetry. Thank you so much. Next, coming up, I love to say this woman's name because I am from New York. And in New York, as you heard La Bruja mention in her poem, because we have the accent, we don't say terror, we say terra. And our next poet's name is Tara Lee. You know, she's so sweet, like one of the sweetest people in the community. Tara Lee. She's also a published author. Tara, I'm glad you're here. The floor is yours.
Thank you. You all can hear me, right? We're all good? Awesome. I'm going to switch it to gallery mode really fast because I just want to see you all. But yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tara Lee. Here is my stuff. There's a lot. I'll put it in the chat for y'all too. I think that's long enough. And I have books, as he mentioned. I have my first book, Ignite, which is only $10. My second book, So Far Away, which is only $15. And if I ever get to come out there and see you all with my books, you can get both of these for only 20. Yes, yes. And I just want to say thank you for welcoming me to your family. Since quarantine started and everything, it's been awesome to be with you all. So thank you so much. I have one poem for y'all. It's from my first book, Ignite. It is a poem, but the way that I wrote it and present it is a little bit different. So, all right. And if y'all want to snap along on mute, of course, but snap along in the comforts of your home, that's perfectly fine too. All right. Take all your clothes back, I want them no more. The sweaters I sneaked on no longer adored. Your presence, it burned me, the scars won't erase. When I look at them, I just see your face. This tires me out, and I need my reprieve. My life won't wait for my feet to catch speed so long. Farewell, I knew you well, so long. Farewell, the door will close itself. And don't come back, I'll change all the locks. This house may miss you, but won't open its arms. It pitied you for foul actions towards me. I have been mistreated right under your feet so long. Farewell, I knew you well, so long. Farewell, never ring that bell. Yeah.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Tara Lee.
That's awesome.
That was
Yeah.
You better serenade us, girl.
I love that.
This is good. This is very cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Strong, strong words.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Tara Lee singing it. You know, real quick, I just want to say, because, you know, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to poetry, right? But the word sonnet comes from the Italian word sonetto, which means little lyric. So poetry, when it started, was always accompanied with music. That's why when you look up the definitions of poetry, they all vary, but the one thing they all have in common is that poetry is supposed to have rhythm. And that is because of the singing, and something like what Tara Lee did. I did not know that she could sing. Fantastic. Tara Lee, make sure you give her a follow. She's a published poet, by the way. We need to open the cafe so we could get a discount on her books. You know what I'm saying? She says she'll come out here. We open the cafe. We get a $5 discount on her books. We're going to have to call the cafe. Be like, yo, you need to open it up so we can save $5 on the books. All right. Now coming up is a man who always brightens up the day. And he is involved in so many different things, workshops and open mics of other people's. He does his own stuff. He's always promoting. And that is Ron Mark Thompson. This dude is just full of light and happiness. Even if he's having a bad day, he is always ready to brighten up someone else's day. Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, brother, I'm so happy you're here representing the Bronx. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Advocate. And yeah, like you said, bright and smiley, literally 1 minute before I was coming on, my Zoom crashed, you know, so I'm glad I got back in, you know, it's like, it's always my luck for whatever reason, you know, but thank you, Advocate, thank you, La Brewer, thank you, the cafe and all the producers on the back end, and thank you to all my fellow poets. Happy first anniversary. Seriously, you all made, to me, you made a big difference, a big positive impact, you know, during the pandemic for all. And the online open mics, they saved my life and my sanity. The programs, they keep me motivated as well as disciplines. And Advocate's themes on Mondays, they keep me writing each week. And by the way, Advocate, thank you for that intro video you did in IG earlier today. That was so cool, you know, seeing everything, you know. And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned the bathroom and the sliding door, because I remember years ago when I went to that sliding door, that was so confusing to me on the first floor. I went to the second floor. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this, you know. And that's when oh, look, you actually have a better view of the stage from the balcony. So that was cool to see. Thank you, Advocate. All right, I'm going to read you I think my second favorite poem from the last 12 months, because the first one was a little bit too sad, but I want to spread happiness. So here is what is called My Preferences. I prefer to be full of health. I prefer that more than any wealth. I prefer to have lots of energy so I can strive. I prefer that no virus invades my life. I also prefer to be in my home. This is where I can freely roam. I admit I prefer to be in lockdown. At home is my best place in town. Quarantine in my own four walls, my sanctuary. I can Zoom with my friends and be merry. I prefer to hide behind my camera and microphone. No one can see me sad or cry in my zone. Sometimes I prefer to be in bed one after another dream, a secret getaway to another life, so they seem. I don't have to take showers each day. I don't have to travel to events far away. I also prefer to laugh and inspire. I prefer to ignite passion and fire. I want my soul and heart to lift high. I want to say to the pandemic, goodbye. I prefer smileys to surround. Happiness should always be on the foreground. I prefer walking with a face mask outside, no blemishes to see. I can be full of pride. I prefer to feel the warmth of the sun. Sometimes I prefer to have some outdoor fun. I prefer visiting the cafe. I'm looking forward back to that day. Now I prefer to perform in open mics, in Zoom, on stage, in the park, all types. After this current crisis finally ends, I prefer to meet in person all of you, my new poet friends. To say the least, I would prefer to reach that other end. Shake hands, embrace loved ones, more time to spend. Until then, I prefer to remotely entertain you on many nights. As always, I prefer to make you smile and make your day bright. The end.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Ron.
Nice, man.
Yes, Ron. Yes.
Thank you.
So good.
Love you.
Ron Mark Thompson. The people are loving the owl in the background and the winky face. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Ron Mark Thompson, he is involved in so many different things. You need to give him a follow. Want to give a shout out one more time to the Amazon Literary Partnership for sponsoring Block D tonight. We had Bushra El Snoozy, I got to work on his last name, coming to us from Illinois, originally from Sudan. Shout out to Sarah Erin, Generalissimo, Jane Spoken Word, Tara Lee, and Ron Mark Thompson, who we just heard. That is their information on the screen. Again, you can go to the New Eureka Poets Cafe Facebook or YouTube if you want to rewatch tonight and get all of these people's contact information. We are now going into our last block. Block E, and that is being brought to us by the New York Community Trust. Wait, before we go forward, let me shout out. Since 2009, the Amazon Literary Partnership has helped writers tell their stories and find readers by supporting hundreds of literary nonprofits. Make sure you check out the Amazon Literary Partnership. Appreciate your money. Give us for year 2. So, like I said, Block E, the New York Community Trust is sponsoring this. We have Kai Brackens, who is filling in for Paul Conqueso. You can find him on Instagram and Twitter at Paul Conqueso. Shout out to him. We've got Vale Larkin, Trisha De Jesus, The Withdrawn, Ray Jane, and we are going to end it with the OG Paul Skiff. We have had a fire night, and that is going to continue on with these next poets. Kai Brackens is next. Great Scott, we have a pleasant gesture. I mentioned it earlier. Scott Pleasance once gave up his spot for someone else. It has become a trend, and now it is trending in the anniversary show. Kai Bracken's rocking out for Paul Conque. So Kai's getting all done up. Oh, shoot. And she was getting all hot and heavy with Sarah's poem, I saw. I have not seen Kai get that excited on Zoom ever. Shout out to Sarah Erin. And now we're going to shout out Kai. Kai, the floor is yours.
Okay. Yes, I was very much vibing with Sarah's poem. Fabulous job. Also, I want to say again, thank you to Paul, who did such an amazing and sweet gesture. You're a fantastic poet, and you've inspired me so much, and thank you so much for this. Before I get into my poem, I have to preface this with something that the new yo has actually helped me get more confident with, because I didn't used to sing before I started performing here. So, should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? A toast. My parents were married on January 31st, 1999, 22 years ago. Isn't that a beautiful image, that a marriage would end and start on the last day of an old year and the dawn of a new century? The two drops in the ocean found each other as the system teetered on the brink of shutdown and reinvented the idea of love. The 99 would be packed, all ready to head out the last of its siblings, but not before shaking hands with the new tenant and wishing the 2000s well, the new century quietly moving into the space the 90s left behind. If we're being technical about the years they've been together, my parents have loved each other for 23 years. That's a lot of time together, but before they were husband and wife, they were only 12 months worth of time at the bottom of an hourglass. My parents were together for a year before they got married, waiting on my mother's divorce to finalize. It took the legal system 4 months and 8 days before my mama laid one loveless marriage to rest in a single grave, just to take up a loving future that same day. That's what some might call poetic irony. That in a courthouse in Las Vegas wearing t-shirts and blue jeans, reincarnation came in the form of two names on a piece of paper, where hidden in the margins in between their carefully carved signatures laid written in all the white spaces in a million different ways the words, "I'll give you my eternity." That story might not make sense to those listening, and I know you won't go running to mark that day on your calendar as the day Kai's parents put the gears into motion to one day make me. But I feel the story as I sit here breathing in this anniversary of all of our collective poetry, human experience shared between strangers turned friends. You see, poetry has connected me to possibilities I never hypothesized would happen. I didn't know it back in April of 2019 that the day I took hold of the title poet, that I would put into motion meeting the man I planned to marry. That April 2019 would pave the way to August of 2019, where poetry became less vague concept and turned into the red string coiled in the palm of my hand, drifting away from me to wrap around the finger of the boy with sunflowers in his smile. And that the day I produced my birthday as a story of tragedy, he would write a different ending. Because how could October 16th become just another day when it would become the anniversary of us? That verses would someday turn into vows, and flow would someday mean family, and then poetry would someday mean all of you. That all of us would be here and we'd know each other's stories and our love, laughter, and pain. That miles would be reduced to just a measurement, because in this newfound understanding, every Monday our souls would meet in a way that transcends the physical technicalities of living in a different country or states. You see, this life, this humanity, our family is poetry. And somehow we're all here sharing this testimonial of stanzas that started in the scars of a plague that ruptured the skin of our day-to-day routines. And where there was sickness, somehow words filled that space, bridging our emptiness and becoming healing that we seek week after week. And even after a year of creating something, where there was nothing but our bodies in between the walls of our homes. We find that we have not diminished in this meeting place of ones and zeros, but seem to grow out of control like the dandelions that take root in the spring, sprouting from the spaces between concrete like the hard places this pandemic has us pressed up against, like this laptop screen, wanting to reach and feel the pressure of another person's skin, hand against hand, something other than circuits, but when you all speak, it feels like hugging a familiar friend. And when the lines pour from past your lips, it feels like the mask is gone and all that is left is the smiles of us reuniting. Because today is April 5th. And it's been a year, but we are still writing roadmaps to reach each other because we can still reach each other through these dead voids of dead space. Because words don't care about dead space, they only know to seek out the living. And this is all just a long-winded way for me to say a toast to poetry, to the New Yorican, and above all, to this family. No matter what is to come for this year and beyond, may this remain imprinted in time and space, even after we're gone. For sickness and in health, for better or for worse, may you all continue to sleep, slam, and repeat.
Woo! Mute yourself, give it up for Kai Brackett.
Oh yeah, Kai, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Love you.
Amazing. Perfect for tonight.
I got my invisible cup right here too.
Kai Bracken's a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. You can find Kai on Instagram at Kai, that's KY _ loud, fat, mixed poet. And as I had mentioned before, we get to know each other personally. We've gotten to see the love bloom between Kai and Maxie back before when they were like many states apart. Oh, there's Max. Max is in the background like, Kai wore me out, guys. I'm just going to say hello. I came and put my clothes back on. But now they live together. And they're having all kinds of, great times that are annoying the neighbors and whatnot, right? Oh, look at that. They're kissing. What are you doing? This is a family show. Stop kissing each other. I'm single and by myself. Don't make me upset. Okay. Thank you, Kai Brackens. Moving on. We are going next to another mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And I think Vale has only been with us not even half a year. And we like to call Vale the trendsetter. Vale sets trends. I don't care how many times Vale says no. Vale has made history. Vale's the first person ever to officially book my son letters for a gig. So, I mean, that's it. Vale doesn't have to do anything else in the arts. Vale, you have hit the apex. You're done. No, I'm only joking. Vale is a fantastic writer. You really need to follow them. Vale, it's good to see you, trendsetter. The floor is yours. We can't hear you. I think your mic is muted. Yeah. See, Vale got an all fancy mic because Vale's involved in all these new projects. You know what I'm saying? They got to upgrade themselves. Ken forgot to even turn the mic.
I hit the mute button. Am I too loud?
There you go. Now we hear you. Go ahead, Vale.
Sorry about that. After all that wonderful, inspiring stuff, I can't do the new shit that I was going to do because it's just too depressing. So I'm going to do something else instead. This is called The Narrator. Perfect spot, perfect day. The sun shrouded just enough to keep the glare out of the eyes of passersby. The old doorway, grate locked tight with rusted chain, deep enough to tuck himself inside. No one tips a tripping hazard. He opens his case, takes out a guitar covered in layers of old stickers, and he sits down. His hair is blue, water falling down half his face, the sides shaved. He wears a suit coat and suit pants and a vest and a newsboy cap, and none of them match, and none of them are their original colors. It's hard to say if home is part of his vocabulary. He has gentle eyes, and the hands that touch the guitar are careful and caring. He starts to play. He plays, love will tear us apart. While walking past, a black-clad girl hums to the rhythm of some other song playing on her phone. She doesn't need to hear it anyway. It's already something she's known for too long. He sees her gutter punk eyes and the stamps on her hands and changes his tune to something she can dance to. The boys on the corner playing at being men. They are hard as their guns and tricky to handle. They're full of the powder of their desperation, ready to explode at a spark. They're trying so hard. My makeup may be flaking, he chants. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile, he sings and sings to them again, sending their bruised hearts all the love they won't believe they still need. The night larks pass in a group, though there should be something better, a word for them rampant, for their ringing laughter, a rejoicing of them, a rapture of them, a resistance. Ladies, now let's get in formation, he chants, the guitar his only echo. He thinks how hard it must be to sell the bodies they were banished for building from boys to men who would never own them as a daughter. He sees the child from some way off, her small form barely glimpsed behind the hulk of the man. She is a pallid, hollow-eyed angel, clouds of red curls around a face of bruised porcelain. He knows where she is going. He does not know the man, doesn't have to. He knows who she is. Welcome, he whispers to her. Welcome to the Black Parade. He plays the day on, singing the songs of the silent, the strange, the shy, and sincere, for who is more honest than the outcast? The words of the prophets are written, he sings, are written and shouted and carved into flesh. The soldiers, the skaters, the sisters in sin, the lost legends, the subterranean, the lives that happen when we look away.
Unmute yourself. Give
Yes.
it up.
Yes.
Boys,
Yes.
feel the
Beautiful.
boys.
Yes,
That is an automatic.
Right there.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Vale Larkin is a writer. Go look up Vale on Facebook. Even Vale's just like their regular post. Gotta be a writer, right? Can't just write some dumbed down stuff. Like Vale goes and make sure you follow Vale Larkin. Oh, I love the writing. I love this community. I love the writing. All right. Let's keep them going. We got three left. And Vale's the trendsetter. When you follow Vale loves to hear that they are a trendsetter. So make sure you're constantly saying that they're a trendsetter. Next coming up is a woman who knows her stuff. She knows her poetry, and I first came to notice her because she was commenting on someone else's poetry. I was like, she knows her stuff. She hosts her own podcast. She hosts her own open mic and whatever. And I'm probably going to get punched in the face for saying this, but it's so worth it. Yeah, she's easy on the eyes. I said it last week, and I know I'm going to get beat up. So when you see me next week with a fat knot on my face, it's because I said that. And it is Trisha De Jesus. Trisha, I am so happy to have you tonight. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Before I go into my poem, I wanted to just pause to say that there is not an adequate amount of time or even words to express how much you all mean to me. You are my family. And you became my family over this whole year, and you have saved me immensely. You just don't know. So because it all began, this online community began a year ago, I wanted to do a poem about beginnings, because this is where it began. The inception of everything we began as the very void itself. We do not understand yet why we swim downward and out, but we do heed the desperation in finding that very first breath. A single moment, asphyxiated, awash in all our past incarnations. The amnesia is reprieve. What we do with the knowledge that we were always in cosmic attendance, each life a reset button where we are surprised by the newness of it all. We believe in this miracle for a time of only becoming present. At the apex of this still fetal existence, we are shocked alive. We begin to mark in earnest upon its unmarred surface. Paint in amnion what we see. Carve down our impression to attempt to pull up the same memory later in almost exact same form. We hold hope as we walk past ourselves, past this initial self, that we begin to mingle that point of our line with others, a midway point, another new beginning. If I said that I see the conception of things as blue, will that call forward that primal part of you that understands and responds in kind? The beginning is blue, never white. No, nothing that devoid of color. In my mind's eye, it is an unending calm, a limitless expanse. It is the same promise found when I look up at the perfect time to find a periwinkle sky. In this blue, the future already teases, assured of its sunsets. And only the rare ones, flawless explosions of bleeding, fast-moving color that mingle their tawny, livid fire into my own lavender repose. When the time comes and the last sunset washes me in her final colors, I do not dwell too intensely upon starting over, because isn't this what Genesis is? Not always the alpha in the progression of time, but the dawn of its own self-contained era, the omega of something else. Though the idea is as frightening as it is exhilarating, I do not believe in them existing separately. They have evolved into one entity. Remember, they're twin suns before memory takes that away. Comfort is a holding pattern. Inside of it, we replay and relive a cycle. We never stop to question, is still good. We are the embryo stars. We shed and we redrape. We shed and redrape in life constantly. There is no status quo. We are the inception to everything. We become emergence into infinite new storylines with a reverberation in our movement, and all places we touch become home. I imagine the heavens birth themselves and their celestial offspring in a brilliant, violent display. I imagine pandemonium arose to be subdued in awe of creation's vastness. This is the order, sacred and ancient. I trust in its wisdom to fashion the same aftermath as I too commence to erupt into resurrection in this same glory. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves, give some energy.
You are such a picture of words. So beautiful.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
And always so vivid.
Yes.
Love you.
Yeah.
Trisha De Jesus Finn Bell on Instagram. I'm going to put all that information up in about another 10 minutes. You need to give her a follow. It is so amazing to have so many talented people like Trisha De Jesus coming here and giving props and saying thank you for creating this space. Are you kidding me? I'm giving too much credit for this. Y'all are the champions. Finn Bell, Trisha De Jesus. Shout out to Luis Santiago. Don't hit me too hard, man. Don't hit me too hard. Please, please, man, please. Okay. Okay. All right. We have the last three poets: The Withdrawn, Ray Jane, and Paul Skiff. We are now going to The Withdrawn, who is wearing one of the illest hats I've ever seen. And The Withdrawn, we not only call him the wild card, but he has been the most active poet this year, signing up the most. We have had 52 shows, and he has signed up for more than 2/3 of them. He has no life on a Monday night, and we appreciate that because he's with us. The Withdrawn in your hat. You got the floor, brother. Good to see you.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all so much. This space, my anxiety's been crazy since COVID started. It's gotten a lot worse, but you know, it's just spaces like these that allow me to feel safe and vulnerable. And I just thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, you know, for continuing to bless me with your presence. And so I got some new shit for y'all. And yeah, I'm gonna hop right into it. Tonight's the night of our 1-year anniversary. And I know I said we were going to end things on the third piece. But what the hell? Let's get straight into the New Yorican purge, shall we? Let's start off with a new mention. Luciana. If you could translate this, it'd be an honor. Advocate tells us English is your second language. But what I really want to know is what's your second favorite sex position? And if you wouldn't mind, a friend, like Catherine, you could ignore that question though, and I'll ask her to bring over that dildo. Yes, Sweeney, we still remember that from the one poem you wrote. Oh, she isn't gonna bring that for me. Nah, it's for you two to insert both ends. Out here looking like a human seesaw. I'm still looking to do more than rub the trunk to get tree off. Or mess up her vocal cords so when she performs, we don't get the same Jane. Dick is good alone for vitamin D. You don't need the sun, Ray. That goes for you too, spoken word. I'm not playing any games. I'm so glad y'all met Abigail. Yeah, you, Polis. Now come squirt a whole ass essay on my face in font. Times New Yeoman. Still tight on my end, the urban cowboy poet denies this happened. The one where last week I tied Advocate up. Fists to cuffs. So he can watch Badan and I in the room. See me with his lady like, damn, I wish I was you. Legend has it that these days his beef is with me, not food. Speaking of which, it might be time for some nourishment. So batter up. Sarah, come. Let me put my finger in your cake while my tongue goes off to run some other errand. Hey, yo, la bruja. La bruja. I'm trying to shock you like when Ash touched Pikachu without the glove on. We can lick whatever's left or use Jeff's pink blanket to wipe the nut off. I'm your favorite dick and underrated black superhero. Just call me Static Cock. And the devil doesn't wear Prada. My mouth does. So no matter what you jot down on my face, Marissa, the word is always right. If you asked me what's my preference of women, I'd say, like a computer without a keyboard, I ain't got no type. I do, however, like elevation of the mind. Example, your girl Rosalind and Jocelyn. I know y'all are wondering who the fuck is Jocelyn, but don't worry. So am I. I prefer to dick Roz down in Manhattan before she heads back uptown. She reps it proud. Because no matter where she goes, she knows where she came from. No matter who she fucks, she knows who she came from. Work days are long, but I'm glad I get to come home to Emily. Sex so good, swear she brings out the dead in me. I spend my time curiously challenging claims clits can cure conditions. Sand Park, it would gratify me if I dive into the wonders of your 7 seas to see what it do for this sickness, this addiction of writing my New York poems. I swear I don't own them without the help of you all. I'll end this right here, right now, with just one line left, so I can go and hopefully fuck those on the waiting list. Thank you.
I'm your best. Give it up for the Withdrawn.
Know what to do with you.
That was great, as usual.
Oh
So
my God, the wild card, always the wild card.
Always brings wild shit up.
Withdrawn, the wild card. I was about to mute him when he talking about that Catherine thing. Boy, don't play with me, man. I will drive up them 8 hours to Buffalo. Not happening. I'm allowed to flirt with everyone, but Catherine Badan is mine. That is the Withdrawn. You can check them out, thewithdrawn.com. Wild card, man. You never know what you're gonna get from this dude. Wild card. And we have no waiting list tonight, so I guess it's you in your hand, buddy. But next week there could be. Next week there could be, man. Shout out to Withdrawn. I love this brother. And you saw his hat. East House. I love it. I love it, man. His family's down here from the Lower East Side. He in upstate New York. But yo, love it. The Withdrawn. A mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic and leading the way by being so active, signing up all the time. Brother, I so much appreciate you. Thank you. The Withdrawn. Now, can you feel it? Can you feel it in your bones? You're going this soon because we got thunder coming. That's right. Thunderlung, the queen. Do not get it twisted. She's going to sound all nice and sweet when she first speaks, and then she's going to tear your eardrum a new one. And I'm talking about Ray Jane. Ray Jane, thank you so much, not only for the year, but being here to celebrate the 1-year anniversary. Sis, the floor is yours.
What's up? What's up? I'm hyped to be here with y'all. Advocate, excuse you, I am sweet. Okay. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to get to know each and every one of you. Thank you for inviting me into your hearts, because I think that's what we do here. We give heart invitations. I know that's kind of cheesy, but that's how it feels. So this is an anniversary for me as well. Stepping outside of myself and trusting my voice by even having the courage to come here and take advantage of what the New Eurekan has gifted us with. So Advocate, one of my favorite prompts you ever gave us was spoils. So I'm going to share the poem that goes with that. I went to war for love, returning with peace in my beak, favoring dove. The rainbows arched over me as I dragged my sword, well used and bloody. I'm different now. Can barely remember how or when the courage began, raged over me. Gathering my wits like men, armoring them with mothered lessons, smothered blessings, slathering cheeks with grease. Lacing up sneaks, pulled the cares, littering my hair back in my pony and tailed myself. Followed myself into battles for myself, got over being stunned to find enemy was me. Certain type of rage rising when you abhor yourself. I blew bugle and charged myself, set my narrow views on arrows too, and bowed myself, strapped weights of worlds on slings, taking many shots at myself. I hurled me over my gates, brought the ash of old villages of me already decimated in the past to fill my moats with. Warring well into the night, but these emotional elephants, a cyclops, and my mind's eye don't sleep, so I can't stop. I keep coming for myself, circling myself 7 times, crumbling my walls, demolishing my crimes that I had learned to stand behind, protecting vital vulnerability inside. I made quick work of myself once I realized there ain't much sanctuary in a house of lies. Friends revealing themselves as spies, getting in on the action, always ready to ride for me. even pulling moon and rising tide for me, placing victory in the sky for me, smoke of sanity rising from the rubble of me winning, but sometimes I still stumble on memories. But after every battle, I see sunrise. Live for veil, lifting between spiritual and physical me, come out on the other side. Incompletely complete, several steps closer to figure eight free, bruised and violently varying shades of blue. I be tattered in new tattoos, remind us to see the rips and rage that scattered me, limping and battered while shattered I bend knee. Say grace and pour libations over my debris. Planting new flags, amending declarations deliberately, emerging with new expectations governing me, new rules and regulations better prepared. For special operations, my black back to beating ops, I conjured myself when I conquered myself, continuous fatigue, 'cause I never stopped. Thank you, Nuyo.
Unmute yourself, give some energy to Queen Ray J.
Absolute queen. Love you, love you.
Oh, queen, queen Thunderlum.
Queen, yes.
Poetry soldier.
Thank you, thank you.
It's RayJane.com. Go give her a follow. Over like 60 recorded spoken word pieces. And you heard that voice. I tried to warn y'all, right? Right? It's like, that's why we call her Thunderlung. She's always like, hi, I'm so happy to be here. You guys are great. This is my poem and you're gonna and we listen and we love it and we eat it all up. That is Ray Jane. Ray, thank you so much. Appreciate your voice that you lend to the community and your writing. Make sure that y'all give her a follow. So we are down to our last poet, and it was very difficult for me to decide who we're gonna end the night with. But then I thought about this, man. I was like, this is the OG. This is the OG here at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I say it time and time again. I feel like he has more say and more claim to this open mic than I do, and I can't find him right now. Where is he? Oh no, I hope he didn't get booted. Where is Paul Skiff? Do we see? Oh, I see him, but for some reason his video's not coming up. Let me unmute him, see if we can unmute him. Paul Skiff is OG here at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. And while doing this, I always thought about like those before us, you know, what would they do? I'm having trouble unmuting Paul. Can you try to unmute him? All right, cool. I have wondered what, you know, like the founders and the people who were around when this was really starting to get off the ground, how they would feel. And Paul has had nothing but nice things to say about what we do. And that brings me a great deal of comfort because the history of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe means so much to me. And like Paul hasn't just been a part of like the New Yo in the early days, but he is a true blue Lower East Sider. He is a resident of the Lower East Side. His blessing means everything to me. Paul, thank you so much for being here for the 1 year anniversary, for being here for the entire year with us. And he was also one of the most active poets we have had. PaulSkiff.com, you got to check him out. And as we say, when it's Paul's turn, we leave the open mic and we enter the Skiff verse. Paul, brother, the floor is yours.
Oh, I'm so touched and moved and grateful. I hope you got my sound coming through, because it seems like there's a glitch. Just seeing you in the space is such a boost and an uplift, and it's just not enough time to express my gratitude to everybody who's come here over and over again. I learn so much from everybody every week. I've learned a lot about survival from the New Eurekans, from, you know, Lois, Diane Burns, you know, yo, you know, Reverend Pedro, everybody. So for people who are kind of, you know, making their way through the New Eurekan path, stick around because you will be instructed, you will be challenged, and you will continually find more and more of the better parts of yourself. So with that said, I'm just going to run through this thing. I think it's a little over 4 minutes, but since I'm the last person, what the fuck? The pestilence had its death count fertilized by manure of political ignorance, while extrajudicial murders perpetrated from official racism spread street rebellions through the comatose body of equality. The surgical mask hides the quarantined mouth of personal freedom no one will get back until government reveals leadership that protects without cowardice about being responsible. The stock market rides an hallucination of prosperity into record-setting heights of out-of-work reality. The miracle vaccine is invented by the only good news, like luck inoculates fate with a plot twist not meant to be understood. The year-long squall of sirens rains a downpour of obituaries just out of hearing range. The refrigerated trailers parked behind the hospital are a horror raised up and caused by the frigid presidential golf swings. The need for mass funerals is a public memorial that turns the entire population into one grieving family saying goodbye to individual consequence. The oxygen flow through the respirator in the ICU tries to make memories from the near future into appointments with life, confirmed by the next breath. The 6-foot wide protection of social distance is a hollow chance given back to hope, whose touch cures fear, but just for a moment with no guarantee. Coming back from the supermarket is a calculated contest where human hunger has anxiety about if it has avoided the thoughtless appetite of the virus. The passion for human contact refuses to starve, even if it means desires compromise, must wear a prosthesis made from the cold blue glow of an electric screen, like a drug that puts distance to sleep. The random outcome of surviving for 1 year offers a night to celebrate where we did it, because the instinct of human spirit always creates continuance of life from the certainty of each moment we are placed in by the grace of our willpower. To you who access this night in its future, be it known, during these times, this neighborhood made of brick, this neighborhood made of electricity, this neighborhood, our neighborhood we forged, was protected by a witch from the heart of light. Her conjuring was so powerful, she brought this intensive care unit of preservation alive. Her creation, a voice made of voices, set off like Independence Day fireworks, a river of voices that flows in life-giving directions, a hive of vitality cracked open whose furious chorus is a defiant celebrating risk. Dominion of the self begins to sing on the inside with clamor of listening spirit breaths. Instinct seizes as protection more necessary than a choice to live, smuggled in the witch's worship of a life's dignity. The witch loved this place into existence, and you feel it now because a place made by such a spirit has the ability to be in many hearts at once. You also have come together in this spell cast from electricity and the air, and be it known to you that our agradecidos is but a faint echo of our defiant joys. If you doubt the truth and effectiveness of La Bruja desde la corazón de la luz, then vales monda, niño, because you then doubt your own fucking eyes and ears. The year of horror and despair, downfall and ruin, in which our survival is the maddened resistance, the standing ups and speaking outs over the ignorance, cruelty, and inhumanity. The year that here in this gathering was beautiful, creates our future now, not the choking knees, not the insensible guns, not the prank politics and pestilential ignorance that only offers a world of cruel ends, the backward nexus of destruction with its message of unfeeling and total despair. So where you are, dear listener, arises this place, a seed burst open, carried to where you are from Puerto Rico, conjured from the founder's vision by the witch who protects this neighborhood. Yes, tienes razón, compa. It is here, encantamientos, her hechizos that make this gathering a practical magic. The New Eurekan Poets Cafe was invented to overcome, to birth joy, like blood engorges the part of you that gets erect with pleasure, because pleasure always survives in your body, in your voice, an aliveness whose content is a poem. Each time we put a poem on our voice, like a protection, we live. Each time we put a poem on our voice, we are alive. Each time we put a poem on our voice, we are live. Poetry, live stream, jabbering from the dish farm in the sky. We are protected by this poetry, by our coming together for a whole fucking year. So take it like a vaccine, an enchantment that for tonight gives us immunity. We ourselves are the witch's hex. We ourselves are the signal filled with joy and commitment, envisioning our connection of lives, similar as the stars are united in the hearership, as it were, the universe. This is how together we have overcome. The world will have gifts for us. Where is the sweet? Where is the lovely? Where is the kind? Where the gorgeous, the tenderness, the mild? The answer is in our voices. Ajo niño, claro que sí.
Oh,
unmute yourself.
Oh, man.
Wow. Oh my God. What a
Wow, you froze tonight. Oh my God.
Absolutely captivating.
Yes.
Awesome.
Paul Skiff, the OG, the legend. Having him here is such an honor and a blessing. And he's talented too, right? Like he's not just connected to the old school New York and the foundation, but he is talented. I love having his voice here. I had to unmute La Bruja because she was mentioned.
Oh my God, I'm over here.
Yes, caught her at the right time. She's crying.
That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. That was just, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just beyond words. And I'm just so grateful. I don't know, there is really so much love. It has just been pure love. 25 years of my life loving and loving and loving every time, you know, seeing all of you performing and just blossom into your amazing selves. It's just, Paul, thank you. When I see you, I'm gonna hug the shit out of you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, Skip and La Bruja. Thank you, La Bruja, for all the work that you do, opening the path for other artists, including artists like me. There is no Monday night online open mic without La Bruja, Caridad de la Luz. And you know, right now she can be jealous of me because I'm in the cafe, but in a few minutes I'm gonna have to leave, and she's still gonna be in Puerto Rico. But I love you, La Bruja. Thank you. Love you, Paul, Skiff. Thank you so much. While I am doing this for one last time, Chris, you got to make your way over here because I promised the people that I put. Oh wait, I shared the wrong thing. I shared the Mr. Chris Lopez. He's not walking over here. Come on, now he is. Now he is. All right. There we go. This is what I wanted to get. So real quick, the last Block E was brought to you by the New York Community Trust. Shout out to Kai Brackens, Vale Larkin, Trisha De Jesus, The Withdrawn, Ray Jane, and Paul Skiff, who we just heard. Thank you to the New York Community Trust for sponsoring us throughout the year. We want to do a second year. Give us more money. And as promised, the man who had to troop it out all the way from Long Island. Are we on the speaker view? Yeah. Okay. Finally, look at that. Look at this is Chris Lopez, the man who had to come out from Long Island to be here, the man who helps me out behind the scenes. He always gets the engine started, and then I get to take off on my own, but he always helps me out in the beginning. And look at it, the beautiful hair. Take that, Jason Quinones. You're not here. You're going to, this is the new hair. This is the new hair, the new yo, man. I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you.
Much love to all of y'all.
Chris Lopez, everyone see, he's not a mystery. He really exists. They didn't know if you existed. Shout out to Loco, because we had a bunch of people who found out we were here at the cafe and they tried to break in, and Loco put 6 of them in the hospital. The 7th one, the cadaver, is buried under the new yo, because that's how Loco gets down. Appreciate you coming out too, Loco. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. There are so many thank yous that I need to give, and I've gone way over time. Thank you for spending, this was supposed to be like a little less than 3 hours. We've gone to 3 hours and 20 minutes, but then the Monday night online open mic was only supposed to go for a little bit, and it wound up going for 53 weeks in a row. And we have had 2.04 hosts. And I say that because I have hosted now 51 shows. 2 of them were hosted by La Bruja, and one time I got kicked off Zoom. So for a few minutes, Sam Park was the host. It was really funny. She's like a deer in headlights. What do I do? Where's Advocate? Should I do another poem? Loved it. So 2.04 host for the year. We are back next week with the theme, What's Next? I have a lot of goodies planned for this year so it doesn't get stale, because year 1 was about setting the foundation. What can we do here? Year 2 is about saying we deserve to stick here, and I'm going to work hard to make sure that happens, because we have so many talented poets in this community who didn't even get to get on tonight that you haven't heard. If you enjoyed tonight, come back next week. With that being said, are we ready? We're about to wrap it up. You ready? Here we go. Take it off here, because now I'm in the new yo, so I can move around and say this. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time tonight and the entire year to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as this year's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting me and the spirit of Miguel Agarin into your home. This has been the Monday night online open mic presented by the New Yorican Poets Cafe, our 1-year anniversary. And I am your host, Advocate of Words, in New Yorican proper. We're gonna have to do this again. I hope all of you Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope to see you on Thursday night when La Bruja hosts our flagship online open mic. And I hope to see you next Monday because it's only going to get bigger and better. I'm going to work hard. I love all of y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Mr. Chris Lopez, we're ready to go home.